meters altitude. Telemetry indicates a good eject. Roger that, Control. We'll keep off you.
This is the query. We're on him. Lead the way, sir. It's a pleasure to fight with you at last.
Omega lead, ejecting. Roger, Control. Omega, this is Control. We should lift off of the next dropship. Orders?
This is Forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down the lift. Salvage operation. This is Forward 1. You're running out of time. Target gamma is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU gantries as soon as possible. If the dropship gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online. Omega left. We're getting cargo secure. As soon as we're able to live, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. We're now tracking multiple targets inbound.
We've got him on radar, Control. Moving to intercept.
Oh no! We're... Alright.
Attention to the paper doll. Make sure you guys are shooting the correct legs. Be careful of the collisions. I don't want to hear complaints about it. Work around it. Let's play this game.
I need another heavy. I've got TB and a quick draw.
I want to get fairly tight to it. Now, anybody who's going to be working range, I'm going to need you to fade right on this. And when anybody's running short, is going to stay towards the top of the caldera if we're going to come at them.
I have you in the Griff. Griffin.
Sounds good.
Well, that's the thing. We got to get to brawling range, so I may be moving us, right up to the hoop if we have to.
Wolverine nach Charlie 4.
It's fine, chill out, man. It's fine. It's just a fire starter.
Warum Leute reden miteinander?
15 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't die.
Guys,
15 seconds, don't die.
guys. 3, 2, 1.
Charlie Dar, CT, yellow. Okay, go. Just release him and get it.
There. To your left, there's there. Sorry, shit. So, jetzt guys, hinter die Indie-Pocken.
Mediums be prepared to pull back E40 towards the E5 border. On my mark.
Left side, come on! Like now, I need strikes on OP barrel. Wire our strikes up.
Die Hauptgruppe rechts, Uferlinie.
They have 3 mechs sitting on the left side when you pass over. Overheating is bad. Both legs on the Griffin. Hit the Griffin.
Sorry about that. That was such a
That's right. I'm gonna spawn Lance, you guys in Charlie, Lance, you guys in Bravo. That's B2C1.
This third drop is 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, 2 assaults.
Jetzt in die Breite, zieht euch in die Breite.
Lights, watch our backs. We're gonna about base and take up position in Bravo 6.
Ja, kurz Aufschaltung Delta 4, 3 Stück, 2 Mediums einleiten, wie ich es richtig gesehen habe.
Make a firing line.
C4 Tactical Hill, boys.
Fox.
Laufen unter ECM, hab 2 durchlaufen, 10 Bravo 4.
And get ready to hit people coming from our right.
Charlie on the left, Charlie, a Hellbringer on the left.
Okay, let's group up towards the left. We're gonna press through Bravo 3 to Bravo 4. I think they're kind of spread out.
Check yourselves. Make sure you've got UAV cool shot.
Here they come. They're pushing hard, guys.
Deco. Tez on.
Go.
Oh, got a contact here, Bravo 3.
Nice, Marshall. I'm on Delta Griffin.
Well, get cross it then. Get in their face. They got a highlighter. They just pushed up on Theta. We need help on Theta. Up on Theta.
Yep, that's the noise. Go. Let's finish this.
Full pressure, guys. Full pressure. They're down low. They're down low in Charlie 3.
Get the f***ing arm, Jackson.
Jackson, cool shot.
Cough.
I got him.
Go, P3, go.
Echo, go.
Get over on your medium, guys. Get Echo Stormcrow.
God, I suck as a pilot, but thank I packed my skill. I'm sorry that you died, sweet girls, but we will send a reasonably nice letter to your family.
Meters altitude. Telemetry indicates a good eject.
Roger that, Control. We'll keep walking. This is a query. We're on him. Lead the way, sir. It's a pleasure to fight with you at last.
Omega lead, ejecting.
Roger, Control.
Omega, this is Control. We should lift off of the second dropship. Orders?
This is Forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down to lift. Salvage operations. This is Forward 1. You're running out of time. Party camera is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU gantries as soon as possible. If the dropship gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online. Omega left. We're getting cargo secure. As soon as we're ready to live, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. Now tracking multiple targets inbound.
You've got him on radar, Control. Moving to intercept.
Oh no! We're... Alright.
Okay guys, that's our last match of the season. Let's make this one count.
Wenn sie zu mir kommen, mich überraschen, ziehe ich sie zu euch und fertig.
Alles klar. Alright, so medium's Gamma, light's Theta, heavy's Kappa.
Roger.
Alright, here we go. Driver Lance, Theta is yours. W key.
Roger.
Alright, can't see anything. Stacking up in Theta.
I keep getting seismic. Can you see them?
Yeah, they got heavies up here as well. Kill anything that moves.
Lights, just give us some scouting. That's probably the best thing for you guys.
Roger, moving to E4.
Here they come.
What do you see? What do you see? 100 and Delta 4 on.
Alright guys, comms, got it.
Yep, prepare to fight, call target.
Pushing hard, we're pushing
in, guys.
Here we go.
That big mix has moved up. That big mix has moved up.
Copy that, okay.
Wait for them to come to us.
Roll into them.
I'm rolling.
Rolling.
There's Max D3 coming from our right, guys.
Yeah, we got this.
I want to call something and I want to see it dead in seconds. Make it happen.
Okay, auf 3. 1, 2, 3. Go.
Guys, we need to get on top over here quick.
Tom qui casse les couilles dans le dos là.
Keep going, let's go!
Go. Everybody in.
Got him.
Nice.
Lock crouch down.
That's all they can move, guys. Go now.
Bravo's leg.
Nice. Holy shit.
Yep, get out of there right now.
Take care of that Black Knight, take him in pieces.
So kill him now.
Push forward, guys. Push forward.
Nice fucking job.
Just run. Stay alive and run.
Nice job, everyone. Well fucking played. That is how it is done.
Fuck yeah, man. Well done.
I can forgive you for shooting me in the back.
Alright, keep your eyes active, guys. Don't have scouts on this one, so we're gonna have to all scout.
I'll be there soon too. We've got mechs on the way. You guys got this.
Seems like a fucking ambulance 911 call.
We are headed into drop 2. 2 lights, 4 mediums, 2 heavies, 0 assaults on skirmish. Let's take a look.
We need to spread out a bit. We need to see where from they're coming, and then we will.
Alright, boys. Manly men. We're gonna take some fire. We're gonna put fire out.
Just make sure you train well.
Ja.
So, stopp, wir ändern Bewegungsrichtung,
Schon zu weit.
Yeah, we need to go it now. Yes.
Keep it up, hold your ground. They have a lot of guys beat up CGs.
The light is peeking at us from before.
Yep, you got one right here.
We're doing alright, guys. We're up by 2. Stay cagey. 3 remaining. We got this one.
Alright, guys, let's do this.
Oh my fucking lord!
Foxtrot is grid CT.
Alright, light going behind him,
Hey, Charlie, come on, guys, finish him.
Side doors up.
Prepare for ramming speed.
Stormcrow, Charlie.
Tir d'opportunité sur le couverture par l'ultra là.
Oh, and he got the kill.
And with a second shot, takes down Aiden with the double.
Derrière, bravo.
Dans les jambes toujours.
Like, go back.
Don't panic, just do it.
Yes!
It was a great match, back and forth, all sorts of stuff going on, incredible shots, things we've never seen before, and things you don't get to see.
Good job, Dara.
Yeah.
Good evening, mech warriors, MRBC enthusiasts, and fans of Battletech. Welcome to another exciting MRBCLeague.com Shoutcast event. MRBC League, of course, is the largest community-run mech warrior online league in existence. This is where the action happens. I am your host, El Switchblade, and joined from the little island in the South Pacific is my buddy, Just Call Me Ash.
Hello everybody, how are we this evening, tonight, or maybe this morning? I don't know.
That's right. Well, tonight, what an exciting lineup of activity we have. The 228th IBR Blackwatch versus Osiriz. These two teams should put on a really good show tonight. Post skill tree, both teams are likely trying to figure out the meta, or the mata, depending upon your accent and country location. So it should be good to see what they're doing and maybe take that into some of your own games. Let's talk a little bit about MRBC. MRBC, of course, is the largest community-run league. We break teams up by division. Divisions are seeded based upon previous season skills, performance, quick play statistics, and anecdotal evidence as seen by some of the members of the community and the admins of the MRBC. We break into 3 different regions. We have North America, Asia Pacific, and Europe. And in fact, the Asia Pacific division, while I think there's 1 game left, I think that it's decided, right, Ash?
Sorry, what was that? I'm just responding to the Twitch chat.
No worries. The Asia Pacific division's already decided at this point, is it not?
I believe so, yep. Vito took that out when they gave us a fair shellacking last weekend.
All right, so there you go. So yeah, let's get into this and take a look at these teams. We're gonna get the teams in the lobby here in a few minutes. So we have a lot of filler chat, about 10 minutes of filler chat to throw in here. So let's take a look at this. As you can see from the North American Division A standings currently, Dropship 5 is in a commanding lead with 23 drops won, 2 drops lost across all of their matches. They've played 5 matches. Osiriz has played 6 matches in second place with 8,025. Each week, each match, I should say, teams are able to get a total of 1,750 reputation points. Ranking in MRBC is done based upon those reputation points. Reputation points are awarded for killing mechs, they're awarded for winning drops, and they're also awarded for bonus criteria. Each drop has specific bonus criteria that we'll discuss as we get into each match. Now, as you can see, going into tonight, 228 Blackwatch only has 4 matches played, so they're a little bit behind the curve as far as the total reputation points that exist for them to be able to gain. So tonight's match, while that might not move them up in the ranking very much, it will ultimately play out in how the rest of the season unfolds for Division A. Then we've got in 4th place Steel Jaguar with 11-9. Again, only having played 4 matches. And 42nd Scorned playing 6 matches, 2-28, and Sig 6-29 at 7 matches. And you'll notice here, 42nd Scorned, while having not as good of a record on a drops won versus drops lost as Sig, have ranked higher because they've scored more reputation points, meaning they've gotten more mech kills, they've acquired more of the bonuses, or kept the other team from getting bonuses, and specifically in Commander Assassination. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff. Let's get in and let's talk about these teams a little bit. So the first team we're going to take a look at is going to be Team 1. This is 228 Blackwatch. Now, Ash, I've got the roster and team overview up on the screen. Why don't you tell us what you see in some of these data points here?
We looking at the averages, yeah?
Sure, averages, total. What kind of stands out to you, man?
Well, old Queenblade sitting up there on the top of the pedestal. Edamos said not too bad, and we've got a few. Well, we got One Last Bite, Defunk, and Archon sort of coming in the back there with some good kills, good average scores. Actually, to be honest, the spread across the whole team is actually pretty good when you look at it. There's no so Queenblade's nailed a whole bunch of kills, but the actual scores and damage overall across the team is actually quite impressive indeed. So a good rounded bunch of players on that team, it would seem.
Yeah, thing to notice here too, Queenblade having only played 6 drops, but he has a kill-death ratio of 5. So if I'm doing my math correctly, I believe that means that he's gotten 5 kills, 30 total kills across 6 drops. So that's quite a bit, if I'm doing my math correctly there.
Well, if he's playing tonight, man, he might kill everything on his own. We'll wait and see.
We do want to call out, since I mentioned his name, this data that we have available to us is only available because Queenblade goes in every week and inputs all the scores from the North American teams into a giant spreadsheet / database, whatever you want to call it. And then he's also had some support from Little Ferret in getting this data collated for us to look at. So huge shout out to those guys, huge appreciations for putting this together. What I'd like to point out too, and if you move over and we look at the team stats here, Blackwatch has not lost drop 2, drop 3, or drop 4 yet. Again, they've only played 4 matches, right? They've had a couple of reschedules, specifically weeks 4 and 5. They've had to reschedule, but they've not lost those drops, and have a 50% win-loss ratio on drop 5. When you look at their KD on drop 3 is ridiculous. Having a 7 on that, it's pretty impressive. And then average damage is 354. One of the things that we will likely notice tonight is higher than average damage numbers because of the change in the skill tree and the few matches that have happened so far. The one specifically that's happened, the cast that's happened, we noticed significantly higher damage numbers because of some of the teams taking a lot of points in the survival tree. So I anticipate that we'll probably see some larger than average damage numbers tonight. 228 has faced off against Osiriz, and they beat them 4-1 in week 3. So this is a bit of a rematch, a chance for Osiriz to maybe come back, or 228 to continue the domination that they've shown this team so far this season. Let's anything else you want to call out on this page before we look at Team 2, Ash?
Oh, look, that was a pretty good summary, man. That drop 3 really does stand out, and also, damage numbers are going to be a lot higher. Not that I've really dropped much since skill tree, but even in the matches I'm doing, there's an extra 100, 150 damage. People are carrying a bit of extra structure, a bit of armor, so that tree is definitely getting a little bit of extra investment than some probably would have expected, maybe.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and let's take a look at Team 2. So, of course, Team 2 is Osiriz. What do you see on these numbers, Ash? What kind of jumps out at you at first glance here?
Well, we've got some guys that look like they're matching their kill death for drops with Queenblades. We've got Dario Hydra and Waktek. Sounds like a steak that I used to serve in my restaurant. The other guys underneath, though, it's like all the way through Kippers right down to where we're looking at sort of Physiolic and stuff. Again, good damage, good kills, good spreads. I mean, that's what you want in a good team. You don't want any one player realistically being miles better than anyone else at this sort of level. Everyone needs to be on that level. So it looks like it. Pretty good.
Yeah, and as we shift over and we look at the team stats here, we've got a mix of win-loss ratios across the board. It looks like Osiriz has had some challenges in Drop 1 and Drop 4 specifically. Better than average numbers in Drops 2, 3, and 5, but definitely see some lower win prospects for them in Drops 1 and 4. Of course, we'll talk about the various drops as we proceed through the introduction here, and we'll get into that. And looking at some of these damage numbers, you can notice that their average damage numbers are a little bit lower than the 228 team. Now, that's not always necessarily a bad thing. Ash, what would you say prior to the change in the skill tree was what you would expect to see the damage to kill maybe a heavier assault mech? What's a good target number you might want to see out of that?
Oh, look, it's about 200 to 300. If everyone's sort of focusing CTs, not spraying too much damage, depending on twisting and all that sort of stuff, it's sort of between 200 and 300 at that sort of higher level. I mean, if you're an amazing shot, far better than I am, maybe 150, but doing a lot of sort of ER large sort of shooting and stuff, it's usually about that sort of 200 marker, as long as you're landing most of your shots. That said, 100-ton assaults now don't twist as well. They might be carrying more structure potentially, maybe a little bit more armor, so it could actually go either way. I mean, with less mobility, you're not being able to twist some of that damage out at all. So, I don't know, man. It could go either way, to be honest. It really depends. I think there's going to be a bit more of a focus on the non-100-ton assaults, so basically 95 or less, just due to the base agility on the hundreds since the patch.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, as we started this out, it'll be interesting to see how the change in the meta based upon the skill tree, what these teams bring and how they tackle these drops specifically. I know that we haven't seen a ton of matches in the higher divisions since the skill trees happened. A lot of reschedules around Mother's Day and of course Memorial Day coming up this weekend. But it should be good for teams that are trying to scope out and maybe get some scouting in and determine how they're going to do their drop decks. This is a great match to watch. Pull from these teams and maybe learn a thing or two. One thing I want to call out here on this list is Osiriz has a 3-2 against Dropship 5, and that is the only 2 drop losses that Dropship 5 has had this season. So kudos to Osiriz for accomplishing that feat, and we'll see if that helps them as they do this rematch against 228 tonight. I'm working on getting the teams in the lobby, so we'll probably get going here in another few minutes. Ash, I'm going to go ahead and take us into the pre-match, and let's talk about Drop 1. So Drop 1, Canyon Network Domination. This drop is 4 lights, 4 mediums. The bonus criteria for this map is that you must destroy 5 of the enemy mechs, and of course there's no strict SRMs in Drop 1. You're allowed max of any 1 chassis and 1 duplicate allowed, meaning you can have 2 Novas, but then you can also have 2 Gen 2Cs, of course. The domination game mode, of course, is to get to the center circle. So we see a lot of brawling on this match. A lot of teams bringing those short, small pulse lasers, short-range SRM missiles, and really just nasty brawling. Ash, I'm bringing up the map strat tool. Why don't you walk us through some of the stuff that we might expect to see happen in this map tonight? Oh, we got to refresh it. Sorry.
Oh, we're ready to go.
Got to refresh the map strat tool. We lost it on the. We were down too long on the screen. So there we go.
Okay, righto. So we've got 228 coming up. Could do a little bit of Overwatch over here. Or you could do the good old come up through the middle for a little bit of a brawly action, or come around the side here. That's from that side of the map. Similar things for Team 2. You can do a little bit of large pulse Overwatch anywhere around here. Or you can sort of go through the canyon. God, my mouse is really slow tonight. Again, I don't know why it does this. Go up through the canyon. Not advisable. Generally not what people would do. Or you can come across here and go that way from the Team 2 side, if you're going to go the brawl. And then you maybe put just the locust just to sort of hold the edge of the circle early on, or something similar, something fast. If you're first to the circle, you can essentially force the engagement if it is going to be a brawl, because you've then got the timer, and that can be an advantage on this drop, having an extra 1 or 2 seconds over the other team.
All right, we're getting both teams into the lobby as we start to do this. Ash, do you notice in playing AP and casting some of these North American matches, did the teams take different tactics in drop one across those regions, do you see?
Sometimes, yeah. Drop one, sometimes not. In a little bit more, maybe 1 or 2 sort of Overwatch longer sort of range mechs. Oceanic, maybe there's one maximum. Usually not sort of large pulse range, but yeah, American seems to be a bit more longer sort of rangy sort of stuff. Whereas sort of AP definitely is all about brawling. I think that's just, we're used to playing with 250, 300 ping most of the time. So for drop one, even though we're on our own server, which is a little bit quicker, we just default to that, you know.
Right. Have you watched many Euro games this season? How do you think they approach this? Are they more towards the North American style, the AP style, or do they have a style all into themselves?
Some of the matches I've seen, they've gone the other way and gone IS brawl rather than clan brawl, which is kind of shocking to me. I wouldn't do that, and NA generally doesn't do that either, especially with the ISXL and all that sort of stuff. But I've definitely saw a few of them do it, so it's interesting. It definitely gets played slightly differently over that side of the world too.
All right, we've got both teams in lobby. They are getting into their lances. I'm seeing an even distribution of tonnage between the teams, both teams sitting at 335 tons. So do we think the same, pretty similar drop decks there, huh?
I reckon it could be identical, maybe. To get the tonnage spot on is usually not always the case, particularly in drop one, actually. Normally it's a bit of tonnage depending on what you're going for, so this could be quite interesting.
Yeah, and the thing to note is that in drop one, you can actually get a maximum of 360 tons. So both of these teams are pretty close to having maximum tonnage here.
Yeah, we'll definitely see a Locust. That's just always a good choice at the moment. And then, the usual mediums, probably Novas or Stormgrows. And then the other mediums. Sometimes you see a Kid Fox, you see an Adif chucked in there, and other lights, always an Arctic Cheetah, maybe Jenna 2C. Wait and see how close we are to getting that right.
Fantastic. While I grab one more beer, why don't you regale the channel with some sort of tall tale of Australian death winds or something?
So we've got 2 rather dangerous animals over here. We have the drop bears. They're kind of like a koala bear, but significantly more dangerous, especially when you're camping and stuff. They tend to drop out of the trees in the night and wreak absolute havoc upon your tent and shit like that, man. Like they're pretty bad. There's some that doubt the old drop bear exists and stuff. Those that do doubt it, let me rest assured, there's something worse than that. It's called the hoop snake. Now what the hoop snake does is he can travel at about 50 k's an hour, so he can basically roll up into a circle, into a hoop, and he can chase you. It's dangerous. You do not want a hoop snake catching you, man. Like that shit will f you up pretty badly. So yeah, that's a little bit of a thing of our wildlife over here. It's very dangerous. We've got spiders and stuff. There's actually a spider sitting on my wall at the moment. He's having a bit of a look at me. I'm having a bit of a look at him, and we'll probably continue this stalemate for a couple of hours until I get sick of it, and maybe relocate him to the outside area.
That's a good one. Hey, so a quick question for you. With this skill tree, we still got maybe another minute or so while these teams get readied up. What are some of the things that you've noticed? Let's talk mostly about pros. Let's not really talk about the cons. What are some of the good things you've noticed in the skill tree so far in playing around with it?
Clan has got a huge range buff. Some of my ER large mechs, my Warhawk in particular, man, went from 880 meters effective to 925. Now, I don't know about you, but an extra 50 meters, I'll take that. That means you're cranking out some serious damage. It's made an interesting choice around speed tweak. Do you get it? Do you not? Do you need to move fast or don't you? I think if you some people that are going for the speed tweak are generally going a little bit less on the structure armor side. You're a bit quicker. You don't need to worry about it so much. If you're playing a skirmishy rangey stuff. So yeah, it's been interesting. I think the meta is definitely going to be evolving over the next probably month or two still.
Yeah, we are Crash and Burn Mech Warriors. Here we go. Drop 1, Season 9, Week 7, Division A, North America, 228 IBR Blackwatch versus Osiriz. Drop 1, of course, is Kenya Network Domination.
The dropships are just hanging around, doing their thing, which is not dropping mechs off. That's great.
All right, here we go. Talking about what we've got in the mech sides here. We've got on 228, we've got a Trebuchet, Hunchback 4SP, Arctic Cheetah, Panther, Adder, Nova, Jenner 2C, and another Nova, doubling up the Novas. What does Osiris have?
We've got a Nova, Cheetah, Firestarter, Nova, so double on the Novas, Wolfhound, 4SP, Jenner F, and Hunchback 2CC. Now, the Hunchback 4SP is not actually a surprise. I probably should have mentioned that due to skill tree structure quirk based on then structure skill tree is massive. The bonus that thing turns into almost a heavy from memory with the amount of structure and whatnot. And same with Jenner F. Jenner F is super buff.
First blood happening for 228, getting some shots out on Maritzi, and a little bit over on the right side there. It looks like he's hitting Wildfire, but just some paint scratching on Maritzi, but down 5% on Wildfire already. 228 setting up around Theta. They're pretty much balled up on that west side of Theta. Meanwhile, Osiriz is scooping around to the Epsilon Delta 5 area and pushing around the south nipple here. UAV's up over both points, it looks like.
So 228's doing a bit of range, man. Not all of them, but some of them are definitely... There's large pulse, mediums on the Adder.
This is where I want to start seeing these airstrikes go out. Here we go, airstrike out. Not a ton of damage. Oh no, Ghost down 79% now.
Yep.
With the buff to the auxiliary tree, you really got to bring those airstrikes, guys.
Yeah, it's probably the only thing I'm not a massive fan of the comp at the moment is the absolute spam that goes on with airstrikes. Everyone just sits back and just throws airstrikes and whatever around the map at the moment. It's yeah, it's interesting. If you get in a bad position, you're going to get hurt, and you're going to get hurt real bad.
Maritzi down to 74%, Ghost at 69%. 228 has a pretty good line here set up. Osiriz is trying to find, it looks like, a place where they can approach, shifting back to the left, back towards the Alpha generator, and try to get some angle on him, it looks like, for an approach.
Yeah, 228 have seen that, man. They know what's going on. They've already rotated, already shifted through the center of Theta around to set up those firing lines, and no doubt more airstrikes.
Yeah, 228, here comes an airstrike now on 228. Looks like an arty strike. Not a lot of damage. Looks like it hit a little low. We've got Osiriz now. Here we come, moving across the open ground. Looks like maybe they're coming in for the brawl. Hunchback 4SP on point. Yep. Twisting through it. Leg focus. His leg is down already.
Oh, jeez, that was fast. That is.
And first blood goes to Osiriz. Turok down. We've got Ghost down on Osiriz. Defunct bringing down Wildfire. It's a 2-1 game in favor of 228 at this point.
And Creeplane doing some work down here. He's actually got a bit of a 2v1 down here, I think, going on. He needs to get out of there quick, which he's done.
Brandon bringing down Airlock. We now have a 3-2 game in favor of 228. 3-3. Osiriz is even it back up. Panic Button swinging it back, getting another kill, taking out Wolverine.
There were some good shots on Arizen's back then, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like they converted that into a kill.
And T-Fun trying to pull down into Death Valley here, maybe trying to lure a mech. Skinless doing the same sort of rotation here. Maritzi and the Jenner in the backfield.
Ooh, I think it's going to be a bit tough here now.
Panic bringing down Maritzi. It's now a 5-3 game in favor of 228. 228 definitely has the damage advantage. The 3 mechs left on Osiriz are really hurt at this point. Looks like Skinless is legged in that Cheetah. T-Fun playing down here in the ramp.
Kippers or Wolfie at the back. Oh, it's gone.
Kipper's still fresh at 98%.
Yep, Cheetah's legged. Skinless got no leg. He in trouble. Now, where are they going to rotate around? Oh, see, no. So 228 just moving back now.
Pulled back.
Yep.
Look at that. Instead of continuing to engage in the brawl, pull back, maintain that range advantage, and force these 3 mechs across that open ground again. They've completely switched sides. Osiriz is taking the position that 228 was in, and 228 is taking Osiris's position. Now Osiriz is trying to get into the trench, maybe get close and get their weapons in range. 228's keen to that, and is starting to shift back away and focus on Skinless. Panic Button holding down that right flank, putting down some good fire on T-Fun over here.
Well, Skinless can't really go anywhere. He only got 1 leg, and I think he knows it.
And here comes Queenblade to try to finish off Skinless.
No, where's he going? Come on, there's a tasty treat just round that corner. Well, there's actually 3 tasty treats around that corner, but you wouldn't want to go running into it.
And now Osiriz is shifted back to the right. They notice Queenblade's kind of isolated on his own, but they don't think they know Brandon's there. And here comes Charisma to support. Now we got a 3-3 on the left side.
Yeah, they're trying to pull him in. Look, this Osiriz are actually playing quite smart here with these last 3 mechs. They're trying to draw them in, overextend, but we've got the Adder on the opposite side of the map. He's got some good angles now. Large pulse, mediums.
Yeah,
he's
Panic
just gonna
Button over
force
here on
them
the
to go.
right side, getting some fire on Kippers. Kippers having to approach and move to finish him off.
Yep, he's forced the engagement now.
You know, that's the difference between some of the other divisions and the Division A. This game in another division would have been over as soon as that brawl engaged, but Division A team is able to keep it going, keep that fight going. Panic Button bringing down T-Fun. It's now a 6-4 game at this point.
There's a large laser on the trebuchet as well.
Skinless still staying alive in the cheetah at 228. I think doing a great job here, understanding that he's legged, not really a threat to their movement and their range, and they're kind of ignoring it. Kipper's trying to get out of that trench he just fell down into, move back across Theta, and maybe get back in the fight, get one more kill. Now remember, Osiriz has to get one more mech kill here to get that bonus.
Yeah, I think they're definitely working for that, man. I think that's what's trying to be angled here. Just that one last
And here
kill.
comes Kippers around the left side, trying to get on Chrisman and get that last kill. Chrisman down 55%. Good shot by Kippers there.
And 228 are not giving that bonus away. They do not want them to get it.
No, Panic moving in to stop Kippers from getting on his buddy Chrisman. We've got a one-on-one fight here. Kippers versus... Oh, and Kippers gets legged by Panic Button. Chrisman finishes him off from the high ground. And now we've got poor Skinless over here all alone. Brandon's finishing him off in the Panther as we speak. 19%. Way to tank through that, and Brandon finishing it off. 228 bringing it home with an 8-4 victory over Osiriz in Drop 1.
Well, there we go. That went a little bit longer than I thought it was going to go for. Especially with those last 3 mechs. Just trying to get that last kill for, the bonus.
Yeah, that was quite a long Drop 1 there. 6 minutes and 12 seconds. That might be a new record. Ash, talk me through some of the damage numbers here.
Alright, what do we have? Pretty good spread. Chrisman doing some serious work there with larges and what is it? T-Fun as well, doing quite a bit of work. So yeah, good to see. And yeah, Panic in that adder with the range again. Wow, 3 kills there, Panic. Nice. Yeah, no, look, good spread overall from both teams. A little bit. Look at that Nova from Torok. He got taken out early on that first brawl push, and same for the Hunchback 2C of Gazat. And look at those Hunchback 2Cs. I'd like to see the damage taken on a 4 SP, to be honest.
Absolutely. The amount of damage he took running across that open ground there would have been a very high number, and that'd be a great stat for us to be able to see here at PGI if you're hearing that. Would love to see that on the screen.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So here we are at the conclusion of Drop 1. Drop 1 is completed. We've got 228 Blackwatch with a 1-0 lead over Osiriz, 350 reputation points to 100 reputation points for Osiriz. Blackwatch getting 8 kills to the 4 kills that Osiriz is able to bring home. Ash, why don't you walk us through how that fight unfolded?
Yep, I'm just getting that up here. So we had the 228 sort of set up a bit of range across here and across here. Had Osiriz come up around here. Remember they came down here. Actually, they got all the way down here.
They did get that far south before they rotated back around.
So 228 kept rotating around up through Theta, having Overwatch essentially down here and there. So they saw Osiriz come right back around. Oh god, my mouse. This is so painful. I don't know why it does this. Comes back in through here, and that is when the brawl was on. Yeah, nice big nasty brawl right around there, right where the little orange Xy is there. We had a couple of 3 mechs from Osiriz end up rotating around the back here. Essentially starting off where 228 started off, and then sort of 228 sort of moved around here with a bit more range and stuff like that, to not give that bonus, that extra kill to Osiriz for any bonus rep points and stuff like that, and then the adder just over here from Panic Button just causing all sorts of mayhem to their 2 lights, and had some lights jump up there, and that was it after about 6 minutes.
Yeah, Panic Button able to keep those mechs that were trying to move back down Murder Ramp and come up the ravine, Charlie 4, get an angle on them, able to hold down that corner and keep them from being able to do that. Something to notice here for you guys in the other divisions, and you know, if you're new to Mech Warrior or you're out there, notice the movement of these teams and how they kept moving pilots to maintain map control, even in something as nasty as a dirty brawl in a 300-meter circumference circle. The fight they were able to keep that fight going because they maintain map control, got those edges, and no one really did the YOLO commit. Really good movement by both teams, and it's awesome to watch this play unfold. Let's go ahead and take this now, and let's talk about Drop 2 as we progress in the rest of the map. So Drop 2, of course, is Mining Collective. Drop 2 consists of, we've got 2 lights, 4 mediums, 2 heavies, and 0 assaults. We call it the Recon Enforce. Max of any one of any chassis, 1 duplicate allowed, and the bonus again on this one is to destroy 5 enemy mechs. We've now shifted from the Domination game mode into the Conquest game mode. If you may or may not know, but Conquest, of course, is the first team to get to 750 points, or destroy the enemy team and be mathematically ahead of them, meaning that your caps are ticking higher, and you'll get to 750 before the time runs out. The game will end at that point. So Ash, as we move into this Drop 2, what are some of the things that we might expect to see from these two teams on this map?
Ooh, Mining Collective, well, it's usually a bit of range and a little bit of brawl. Usually see a bit of mixed deck action going on. You know, we've got with the second drop, we've got some heavies, so I would expect to see night gears, depending on the team and where they.
You mean night gyres, right?
Oh, night gears, gyres, whatever, man. Potato, potato, banana, banana. So. Set them up down there, sort of Delta 3 from that side. You can also set some guys up the wall along Echo 5 here, or Delta 5 if you're Team 2. And then wait. I think generally it's going to generally comes down to caps on mining. If you're losing your trades, you essentially stop trading. So whoever has the 3 cap gets that theta, holds that theta, essentially then forces the engagement. So we shall wait and see.
All right, teams are still getting readied up here, so why don't we go ahead and go into our first giveaway?
Ooh, giveaways. Yeah, we love a giveaway.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and add everyone from the channel. I'll go ahead and remove myself from it, and then I'll remove Just Call Me Ash and Bandit E17.
Take me out.
And we are rolling for, let's go ahead and start this out heavy. We're going to roll for a mech bay. First one is going to be a mech bay, so let's roll it up.
Ooh, mech bay. Lovely.
And I probably forgot to remove that one bot too, and he's going to end up winning, and we're going to have to redo this later on. I guarantee that's what's going to happen here.
Yeah, it's almost a dead set certainty.
Looks like Kincaid with the win. Kincaid, please shoot a whisper to L Switchblade, and I will get you the code for that mech bay. Thank you so much for watching.
Excellent. Well done.
All right, so it looks like Team 1 has locked in. Team 2 is getting ready to lock in now. Both teams sitting at 420 tonnage. 420, what up, yo?
Well, they're even again. Like, wow. Like
even
crazy.
Again, yeah. So it looks like second team isn't really moving lances around, so we should be ready to go here in just a second. Ash, any mechs post that we talked about the Hunchback 4SP? Any other mechs post skill tree that are just like go out, buy this mech, get this mech skilled up, and get this mech into drops? What are one or two of those other mechs that you've seen like that?
It depends if you're talking IS or clan. Look, IS you buff on buff. So if your mech has structure, you go for just bang some structure on there. If your mech has some armor quirks like the Atlas D, the old Founders Atlas, man, that thing insanity. With armor, it is 250 points of armor and structure combined or something now. If you kit the tree out well enough, yeah. So massive buff to that thing. I'm a big Atlas Brawler fan, so that got me pretty excited. Even though it's slow as all buggery without speed tweak, but it's a lumbering giant. But yeah, look, you go structure on structure, armor on armor, or quirk on quirk. You know, some of the clan mechs with their set of 8s have some pretty good quirks, so look for those and build upon them is definitely the way to go.
Well, we are Crash and Burn Mech Warriors. Here we go into Drop 2, Season 9, Week 7, Division A North America. 228 Blackwatch versus Osiriz. 228 in the lead right now with one drop to Osiris's 0 as we get ready to go into Drop 2. 228 to bring into the field in drop 2, a Jenner 2CA, Hunchback 4SP, Griffin 3M, Nightjar, Nova, Hunchback 2CA, Nightjar, and an Arctic Cheetah. What do we got on the Osiris side?
Yeah, we've got 2 guys over there, no surprise. Nova Prime, a Griffin 3M, a Cheetah Firestarter, Huntsman P, and the Hunchback 4SP again.
And we're seeing PPC fire already on the outbound. Little paint scratching happening here.
It's not really on. It's just a little bit of a how you going? I'm here, boys. On both sides, actually.
228 advancing up the field across, looks like 3 different channels. Osiris sort of settling on that center channel. Looks like maybe they're pushing towards Theta here with some Overwatch on the Blue Flames from their Nightjar Reckless.
Yeah, Osiris are moving up as well. At this stage, more of a sort of a concave sort of plan to the map from 228, whereas Osiris have already at 2 caps.
And 228 getting both their night gears up on Theta, trying to get that advantage. UAV up from 228, shot down already by Osiriz.
Skinless knows what's going on here too. He knows there's 3 over that side already. He spotted them just before. So Osiriz know where the bulk of 228s are right now.
228 has a great position here. 2 mechs on center for Overwatch, 2 mechs on the right with Overwatch as well, the Cheetah and the Hunchback. And then we've got their brawling Lance over here. One Last Bite, Turok, Archon, Adam Steiner, and Brandon Moon in their brawl set up along the 3 channels on the north side of the map here.
Yep, a little bit of a gas into the UAV. That's an interesting use of ammunition.
Both teams, kind of hope. Here we go. We got some movement on the left-hand side. Here comes Skinless and T-Fun.
Oh dear.
I don't know that they know those other 3 mechs are there. Osiris is coming in full tilt now. Isolating these 3 mechs there, pushing on them hard. Archon, Adam Steiner already down at 91%, 83%. He is focused at this point. They're trying to bring him down.
The Nokia's up high, can't really get a hell of a lot of shots at the moment. They're kind of almost blocking each other in each other's way constantly.
Adam Steiner down to 44%, but able to pull out of that death channel there. Skinless bringing down Adam Steiner. Here comes Osiris. Osiris pulling back away from their push, re-establishing themselves around the corner.
Another down. Oh, no, nearly. Something come flying off that Nova then. He's lost a torso, definitely.
We've got both teams, looks like 228 trying to backpedal and get that range advantage. Osiris push stalled just a little bit here in the center.
Yeah, they've realised that there's 2 mechs isolated up in Theta. I'm not sure they realise the 3rd one's up there yet.
Looks like they're starting to shift and move towards them. Airstrike's coming in, goes down to 64%. We've got Turok at 38%. He's going to be going down here very shortly. Skinless trying to isolate. T-Fun bringing down Panic Button. It's a 2-0 game in favor of Osiris at this point.
Oh, look, they're all balling up here. Osiris are pushing.
Yeah, here comes Osiris. Here they come on the push. Push on the backside of Theta here. They're pushing on the Chrisman and the Nightjar. Chrisman trying to backpedal, get some shots out, stay alive as long as he can. Die slow here.
One shot. Oh!
Reckless, bring it down, Chrisman. They continue to move forward. Osiris, they've got focus on Jenner 2C now, moving towards maybe a bigger mech here. That Hunchback at 33%, still standing. Leg
Nova
Cheetah.
Got down. We got the Griffin coming in from the back.
One Last Bite, 32%. Now he goes down. Skinless getting another kill. It's a 6-7-0 game in favor of Osiriz at this point. And here we go. Brandon, or Defunct Con in his Nightjar, backpedaling, trying to get a kill before they bring him down. Here comes the fresh Osiris mix to finish him off.
Oh no, Cheetah running in. Ooh. Don't die, sir.
He is doing a hell of a job tanking through this. And Ghost getting the kill in Defunct Con. 8-0 game in favor of Osiriz. That was a beautiful push, guys.
Wowee, man. Wowee. Look at the UAVs on the map too. Holy shit.
Wow, let's talk about these damage numbers. Ash, what do you see here?
I see a pretty bloody good spread from Osiriz. Reckless doing some serious work there in a short space of time with 629, and yeah, 228's a little bit haphazard. That was definitely getting caught out. The Griffin of Archon and One Last Bite in the 4SP. Yeah, got a little bit caught out there. But Defunct and Chris doing some a bit of work there in the Nokias, and Queenblade actually in the Cheetah doing pretty well.
Yeah, good damage spread there. What a great push by Osiriz. Let's go ahead and get back into the lobby here and take a look at the map strat. Ash, that was impressive. Walk us through how that unfolded, man.
Yeah, let's give me a quick wipe of the map. So we had the 228 guys they ignored Kappa and some came up to here. up to here, and we had to cap out at Gamma. Had the night gears, night guys, whatever they are, from 228 sitting up here doing a bit of trading and looking down to where the Delta 5 region, and then we had Osiriz here, some night gears up here, a bit of their force here on the low ground behind Theta, and I think it was Skinless in the Cheetah came over here. Had a little bit of a look around, I don't know, whatever the hell it is, the silos or whatever, and realised it was 3 of the 228s there, and not all of them were sitting there. So that's when Osiriz said, righto, it is game on, and they went for the push. They went in, got 2 mechs early. The Griffin from Osiriz did well. He hid behind here. Pretty certain he got opened early. So he waited, did a little bit more trading going on across here. The 228s rolled back just a little bit, and then Osiriz grouped up, basically in purple, just on the low ground here in Delta 4, and then they just bang straight into them, and yeah, that was it. It was good. It was on.
That little delay there they had in their push, where they were sort of reconsolidating their forces, I was worried about it. Why do you think they made that call instead of just pushing in and finishing off those mechs and allowing 228 to get a bit more range?
I think they were trying for a bit of information, just trying to find out where there were definitely 1 or 2 mechs from 228 that were unaccounted for. So I definitely think that was a big part of it, and also waiting for the night gear to catch up. A little bit slow, so you can't really go barreling in with your 85, 90k an hour mechs if your 60, 65k an hour mechs are a little bit behind and unable to provide that fire support you need when you do go in for the push.
Well, fantastic. Great breakdown yet again, Mr. Ash. We are at the end of Drop 2. We've got 228 Blackwatch with 1 win and Osiriz with 1 win. However, Osiriz with a dominating win in Drop 2, pulling ahead in reputation points with 450 to 350 for the Blackwatch. Let's go ahead and move into Drop 3, River City Conquest. We call this game mode Commander Assassination. 0 lights, 3 mediums, 4 heavies, and 1 assault. Your assault must be an 85-ton mech. Max of any 1 chassis, 1 duplicate allowed, and the bonus is to destroy the enemy commander mech and make sure that your commander mech survives. We see some very interesting play on this map. Some teams use that assault mech as a go-getter, front push, let's spend the points. Some keep them back in reserve and try to maintain that bonus, 50-point bonus, and not give it to the team. Ash, based upon what we saw in Drop 1, we saw a range deck from 228, we saw a brawl deck from Osiriz. Drop 2, we saw another range deck from 228, and a pretty significant brawl deck from Osiriz. What do we think is going to happen on River City here?
Oh, yeah, good question, man. 228's have got a lot of options for Overwatch around the Gamma region, like that Fox 7 area. You can put a mech up here for basically total Overwatch across the map. Also do a little bit of shooting from the buildings here in Fox 7. There's a little ledge there you can sort of get up and use some edges. Yeah, I think that will be the plan for 228. If they've done range so far, we wouldn't expect that to change. They're pretty well known for that range work. The Osiriz guys, they've got a couple of options. They can either set up and do some range here as well, across sort of the upper city, Echo 5-ish region. Trading through the buildings here in Gulf 5 can be a bit risky. You do risk sort of getting in the open a little bit too early. You can actually do some reasonable work over from this Hotel 5 area as well, depending on where they set up on the opposition. Or if Osiriz do go a brawl push, they can come through here, come through there. When my mouse actually updates. Oh, see, it goes quick when I move it quick. That's weird. And basically, send your commander in first as a tank. If the 228s all do sort of set up in that Echo 7 area, that can work quite well. We did that ourselves actually against the 228 Oceanics. Well, we didn't pull off a win. Yeah, it definitely can work if you're aggressive and focus fire a bit better than we did. Or you can also come through here, Fox 6 into Fox 7. Now, a little bit more risky, but again, sometimes high risk, high reward.
Yeah, we got both teams set. Looks like they're about to get ready here, but let's go ahead and do, you know what, we're going to hold off. We're going to do one more giveaway after Drop 4, and then we'll do another giveaway after Drop 5. So if you're listening now, first and foremost, let's get some hype in the channel, guys. It's a 1-1 game. We saw 228 with a dominating victory in Drop 1. We saw Osiriz with an unbelievably dominating victory in Drop 2. What's going to happen in Drop 3? Call it out. Who's your team? Is it 228 in Drop 3, or is it Osiriz in Drop 3? Let's get those predictions in channel. Throw in your favorite emoticons. Let's get hyped here, guys. We're at 80 viewers. Tell your friends, get them in. Let's watch these games. We'll do another giveaway after the end of this drop. This is exciting MechWarrior play here, guys.
I was just going to say, while the hype's sort of building, man, your beard is looking pretty fucking tasty tonight. You know, none of this scratchy hobo looking stuff. You know, you got it nicely trimmed and stuff. You know, man, I'm liking where this is going. Keep working on that.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I'm trying to, I've got, when you look at, we've got 2 official casters in MRBC. You've got Bandit and his partner MDN, and then you've got myself, and then, the various partners I bring in. I think you and I have done more shoutcasts together now than anyone else this season. So what we've got to do is find a way to edge ourselves above those guys. Bandit's got the beard, right? So that's he's known for the beard, and so I'm trying to get him with this thing here, right? One up him. Then you've got MDM. Now MDM, a little known fact here, MDM cannot physically hold a hammer. He is unable to put nails in his wall to hang pictures on his wall. You know how Zoolander can't turn left, right? From the movie? Yeah. MDM can't hold a hammer. His hand just cannot grasp a hammer, so that's why he has no pictures on his wall. And so you can see behind me here, my wife and I have put in an effort to make sure that we've got a number of pictures on the wall so that we can up our game and put ourselves ahead of those guys. Everything counts, man.
I'm telling you, man, your wall looks amazing compared to where we started, Circle 4 weeks ago. It looks beautiful. It is a work of art. It is literally art, man. They're all well placed. There's a bit of offset going on there, man. Oh yeah, I'm getting excited all the way over here.
Yeah, and then we got my blanket so we can't see into the kitchen, right? Normally I got my wife and kids running around in the kitchen getting food and snacks and being loud and stuff, and I got the blanket to separate. The wife's out for a ladies' night tonight, so it's dark in the kitchen, but I still had to have the blanket hanging. It's our thing.
Pretty good blanket, man.
It's a damn good blanket. Yeah. We got
nothing wrong with it.
We got Team 1 readied up. Team 2 looks like they're just about to be readied. We finally have a tonnage discrepancy. Team 1 sitting at 525 tons. Team 2 sitting at 510 tons. So that's Blackwatch with 15 more tons than Osiriz as we get ready to go into Drop 3 here, Week 9. Season 9, Week 7, North American Division A, 228 Blackwatch versus Osiriz. Osiriz currently in lead, 450 to Blackwatch's 350.
Now, we've got Blackwatch in Alpha Charlie, so I think they're going to be setting up Upper City by the look of this, and Osiriz and their Lancers. I'm liking where this is heading already, man.
Well, we are Crash and Burn Mech Warriors. Here we go into Drop 3, River City Conquest.
I think Osiriz are going to brawl push. I think, man, maybe a little bit of Overwatch, a bit of a brawl. Oh, I can't wait. This is going to be good.
Yeah, I like River City. I think it's Mining Collective is obviously my favorite map in the game. Period. But yep. River City, I think, offers a lot of different play styles. It gives you options on how you want to play the game, and it's in my opinion the most versatile of the maps. I'm clearly not Div A mech warrior scientist or whatever, of course, but the way that you see games unfold in this map, it feels like it's different every time.
Yeah, look, it can go all sorts of ways, man. Like it just depends on who moves where, and sometimes you commit to your strategy early and go, you know what, it doesn't matter what the other team are doing. I'm going to run this plan how I wanted to run it, and it actually goes really, really well because the other team are then out of position. They didn't expect you to go on the right-hand side or the left-hand side, and then they've got to reposition, and chaos can sometimes ensue pretty well. It's good.
Well, here we go, getting ready to drop in. We've got Chrisman in a Nightjar, Mikado Soul in a Dragon, Archon Adam Snyder in a Marauder 2C, Turok in the Nova, Asrin in the Griffin 3M, one last spot in the Onichan, that's an Orion 2C, Defunct Khan in the Nightjar, and Panic Button in the Hunchback 2CA. Looks like we doubled up on Nightjars for a 228. What do we got on the Osiriz side?
5P from Wildfire, guessing he's going to be long range. Hunchback 2CA. We've got Reckless and Arilok in Night Gears as well. We've got EBJ Wolverine. People have been screaming for EBJ in the Twitch chat, so there you go. You got the EBJ. And Viper C and Mad 2C for Kippers.
Yeah, here we go.
This might not be Brawl, man. This might not be Brawl.
It might not be Brawl. It looks like they're bringing some laser fun. We've got 228 taking the high ground at the airport over here by Gamma. Meanwhile, we've got Osiriz balling up on Epsilon pretty heavily over here in the upper city. 228, the other half of 228's over here on Theta. They're trying to do a quick cap on Theta, maybe with some Overwatch.
Yeah, look, depending on how you kit that EBJ out, your large pulse can go out to 707 optimal, and your mediums are almost going out to 500. So
great airstrike by Osiriz. Archon down 86%, Mikado at 94%. That was a fantastic airstrike. And Osiriz is charging full tilt across the water under the bridge. Here they come.
Actually, just having a little quick look here, I think these aren't long range. Yep, Grasshopper 5 feet from Wildfire. These are laser brawl. This is on. This is not going to be a long-range fight.
And Osiriz continuing to charge across the water. 228 responding, getting down in the water, trying to meet them in that open ground. Osiriz crossing over with a couple of their mechs into the high ground here. We've got Skinless and Ghost getting high ground on the left.
Well, 228 doing a hard rotation here. Osiriz has been caught out, I think. Didn't expect that.
T-Fun bringing down Adam Steiner. That's a 1-0 game in favor of Osiriz at this point. One last bite bringing on Airlock, evening it back up 1-1. Wolverine bringing down one last bite. It's a 2-1 game in favor of Osiriz at this point.
Oh...
This laser fire going across the board, this is great to see.
We've got the Viper in the back here, causing a bit of havoc with the long-range mechs from 228.
Skinless bringing down Turok, 3-1 game in favor of Osiriz. Wolverine Asteroid, and that's a 4-1 game, in favor of Osiriz at this point. Osiriz bringing this laser brawl, really taking it out on him. Chrisman down to 76%, Defunct at 46%. I believe that Osiriz is going to be able to pull this out with maybe one more loss on their side. They're looking good. T-Fun bringing down
the Viper's back. The Viper's back again, man. He's doing some serious good harassing here.
T-Fun able to keep those mechs in the water from able to doing a lot of damage here. Ghost bringing down Chrisman. We are down to 2 mechs left on the 228 side. Mikado's Soul completely surrounded, twisting through in that drag and doing an amazing job of staying alive.
Yep. And they're going to hunt this last guy down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, dear me. Osiriz, pull back.
Oh my goodness, that is an 8-1 lead, 8-1 game in favor of Osiriz in drop 3 here. Osiriz bringing that laser brawl, crossing heavily through the upper city, not stopping, holding W to victory, moving across by the bridge, grabbing the high ground, leaving a few mechs in the water, and leaving 228 down here in the water in this litany of dead, crushed mechs along the shoreline here.
Oh man, look at it. It's a wrecking junkyard in that water there. Just destruction, man. Absolute destruction.
And Osiriz getting the cap, of course, here at the end and finishing it off. That is game. Ash, let's look at these damage numbers.
Wowee. Hunchback 2CA from Ghost doing some work there, man. And that mech, not the most heat efficient. No, very impressive. Very impressive there. Kipper's managing to stay alive as well, which is good. That's what you want for your commander. You don't want him to die. Chrisman, Nike pumping out some serious damage really quickly, which is good work there. But look, overall, the Osiriz numbers very good. Very good spread. That's some good pushing, good damage. Yeah, look, T-Fun man in that Viper, 413 damage. Keeping those Nike's busy in the backfield, keeping them turned around constantly. I think that was definitely possibly the game winning maneuver right there.
Yeah, a great damage number. Ghost really standing out here. And that Viper, to your point, T-Fun, did a great job of keeping the 3 mechs in the water, trying to put out fire from being able to focus. They had to worry about that gnat in their ass the entire game.
Yep, that they did. That he turned them around, he ran away. Turned them around, ran away again. Like, yeah, that's what you want. And you know what, lived. Managed to do it twice and live. That's, yeah, crazy.
So we're at the end of drop 3 here. Osiriz up 2 wins to Blackwatch's 1 win. 800 reputation points for Osiriz, 375 for Blackwatch. Ash, why don't you run us through what we saw happen on that map there?
Righto, so 228 Alpha Lance, Marauder 2C, what was it, Nike, whatever, Charlie Lance as well, and then sort of came across here. By this point, Osiriz, they balled up pretty quickly in the Echo 5 region. Stalled just a little bit, and stalled for a good reason, not a bad one, just for their team to catch up, and then started basically charging across Echo 6, at which point we had 228 essentially rotate around back into them as they're going up. It definitely was looking a little bit touch and go, just as Osiriz got to this point here. The 228s had rotated around reasonably well, and did actually get a couple of back shots on there. And then essentially it was just exchanging from fire. Had night gears shooting down, while some of the mechs were up a little bit high from Osiriz. Sort of, they'd moved up a little bit higher. So yeah, a couple of night gears sort of in that region, a little bit out of position. Had a Hunchback 2CA or whatever it was doing some work, serious work pumping in some damage there. Another night gear there. But yeah, the winner was for me the Viper basically in here, and just he was kept coming in and out constantly, in and out of the battle, turning the Nike's around and stuff, letting the Osiriz other laser bomb mechs, the Grasshopper, Marauder 2C, crank out that damage and do the work.
Yeah, fantastic job by T-Fun on that, and Osiriz too. W for victory, man. I love a brawl more than anything else in this game, and seeing them bring that laser bomb brawl, that was just beautiful. That skirmish range really worked out for them once they took that high ground from them.
Yeah,
So
I didn't realise the 5P wasn't ER large. I didn't actually check his build. Then I saw a large pulse of mediums. I'm like, oh yeah, I know what's going on now.
well, we're gonna roll straight into a giveaway here, guys. Here we go for 500 MC. I've already removed everyone that needs to be removed from this, and let's roll this giveaway. 500 MC being given away right now. MRBCLeague.com, twitch.tv/MRBCLeague, twitch.tv/MRBCLeague.com. And who are we settling on? We are going to give it away to Kippers. Kippers winning 500 MC. Kippers, shoot L Switchblade a Whisper in Twitch, and I will give you that code and make sure that you get this prize, not only for your great play tonight, but also for watching the Twitch channel. Thank you for your support.
It's like a double bonus, mate. Lovely. Kept your commander alive, kept the points, and you get a little reward for it at the end. Delicious.
So, Ash, we are moving into Drop 4. Drop 4, of course, is Polar Highlands Conquest. We call this specific drop Flank Engagement. 2 light, 2 medium, 2 heavy, 2 assault. Max 1 of any chassis, 1 duplicate allowed. You could bring 2 Kodiaks, but then you can't bring 2 Night Gyres, whatever you want to call them. The bonus on this one is to destroy all the enemy heavy and assault mechs. You don't need to keep any of your mechs alive, but you must kill the heavy and assaults to get that extra points. Ash, what are we going to see on Polar Highlands, man?
Well, this is definitely flank engagement because this map's so damn big and it takes so damn long to walk across it. Oh, look, man, it can go all sorts of ways. Because it's so big, you can do a little bit of cap pressure. You know, the 228s might send like a 3-man wolf pack out to Epsi, perhaps. You know, say, there we go, Osiriz come in with 2 lights instead, maybe go cap at Epsi and they get picked off, maybe. Perhaps you can do it that way. Or you can go sort of all the way to Theta as both teams. Again, it can go both ways. Sometimes even teams sort of head towards a bit more of the middle and get a little bit more sort of aggressive through the center. You know, you're only talking about 700 meters between those sort of the Indigo and Golf line when you sort of start a push on. And 700 meters, if you bring in like Daka Kodiaks, you're not bringing super long range ER larges, can actually work quite well. Yeah, look, it's going to depend on the makeup of the decks, whether they're going, whether it's sort of the, you know, mid-range skirmish, sort of Gauss peeps, or you're going sort of ER larges, PPCs.
Well, based upon the tonnage, you can ton out at 530 on this drop, and these guys are at 485. My prediction, based upon some quick scratching of math that I've done, we're going to see a Marauder 2C, a Kodiak, 2 Night Gyres, a Hunchback 2C, and then a variety of 40 and 30-ton lights and mediums on the various teams. So my prediction is we're going to see doubled up Night Gyres, a Kodiak and Marauder 2C, and a Hunchback 2C per team. That's my prediction.
Yep. Yeah, I'm thinking some pseudo lights. Yeah, so fast, really fast mediums, either Vipers or what else we got? Oh, Shadowcats are a bit dead these days. So yeah, most likely a Viper. I would imagine will be in there, or maybe even Cicadas. Cicada, good choice as well, nice and quick.
Yeah, I love the Cicada. That's a great mech. Does a lot of work on the field for us in the 54MR, and you know, you see it do good play in other divisions. In fact, while we're waiting on, it looks like Team 1's ready, Team 2 is getting ready. I'm going to go ahead and bring up some additional statistics that Queenblade has done. He posts these to MRBC League as he gets a big chunk of numbers done. And what this is the mechs by division, right? So different weight classes of mechs by division as he's seen them through the first 6 weeks of play. We've got both teams readied up. We'll talk about this in just a second. We are Crash and Burn Mech Warrior.
I'll have to give you a link for that. I haven't looked at it.
So after 5 weeks of play, right? 5 weeks of play for all the divisions. In Division A, the most used light mech is the Cheetah. In Division A, the most used medium mech is the Hunchback 2C, the most used heavy is a Night Gyre, and the most used assault is a Kodiak. Now again, this is all before Skill Tree happened, right? So we're going to see a shift in these numbers potentially as we move into the second half of the season. And Div A stands apart, where Div A has the heavy Night Gyres used, where we actually all of the divisions use the Night Gyres exclusively as their heavy in the most usage in the heavy. Where there's a difference is the medium mech that Division A brings. Mediums in Division A are the Hunchback 2C. In Division C, we move away from, Division D, we move away from the Hunchback 2C, and we start seeing the Griffin in predominance. So, interesting statistics to look at there as we progress forward and how the different divisions choose their mechs.
Command coming in.
I think a lot of that range is Division 1. It's that range, long range engagement and battle, and that's why you sort of see more hunchbacks and sort of Div D's a bit more sort of brawly, pushy. You know, we're not the best shots kind of thing. You know, let's get in there and reduce that range, so we've got a little bit more chance of landing our shots.
So here we go, drop 4. We've got Panic Button and a Highlander, Brandon Moon and General 2C8, Mikado and a Hunchback 2C8, Chrisman and a Nightjar, Queenblade and a Cheetah, One Last Bite and a Nice Ferret, Archon Adam Steiner and the Battlemaster 2C, one of my favorite mechs, and Defunct Con and the Nightjar D. They are rocking double Nightjars on the 228 side. What's Osiriz bringing to the field?
I'm not surprised in some ways that there's actually no Kodiaks on the field at all. We've got a Banshee 3M, Wolfhound, Night Gear, so double up on there. Mad 2C, Arctic Cheetah, Viper, and Hunchy 2CA. So yeah, Viper, as expected. One Last Bite, Ferret, same really. Both quick, fast mechs. Pseudo lights, and very quick for mediums.
Yeah, and 228 already is capping both Gamma and Epsilon, but however, they're going to quickly pull into the cap lead, but Osiriz is capping Kappa right now, having already capped Sigma, and both teams are sort of moving towards the center of the map. You know, I called the Kodiak, but I'm not too surprised. The Kodiak has definitely lost a lot of its luster after the skill tree. But with the dual PPCs, dual Gauss, I still think it's an effective weapons platform for a map like this. You know, it slows molasses in the turning and whatnot, but typically on Polar Highlands, you're not dealing with a wide angle of shots here, and I thought it might be something we might see from these teams. Both teams still continue to move towards the middle here.
We've got 2 Gauss, 2 Peeps on Airlock's Nokia. Interesting choice. Same for Reckless, actually. Okay.
Polar's a cold enough map that you can do that. With those 2 Gauss, 2 PPCs, and the rest heat sinks and 2.5 tons of ammo, you actually have a heat of 1.22 on that mech. It's 1.22 or 1.24, so not entirely, you know, unplayable, especially when you consider dual cool shot 18s.
Yeah, it definitely relies on cool shots right now. Absolutely, it's definitely a big change in skill tree. Is cool shots, cool shot 18s, bang bang, 30-second cooldown. It's a lot of heat dissipated in a short period of time.
Both teams with pretty solid lines here as they sort of advance towards the middle. Osiriz with a bit of a not as wide of a line as 228. They're kind of bunched up behind each other in row formation, or column formation here, with their Marauder 2Cs, their Banshees, and their Nightjars.
Osiriz need to move up too, man, because they're large pulse. They're not. It's only the Night Gears that got the range. Otherwise, all the other mechs on Osiris' side are all 600 effective. So that's that Banshee's large pulse.
And Osiriz with the cap lead right now, but we've got 3 mechs from 228 kind of making their way towards Theta over there. The mechs from Osiriz moving away from Sigma back to their main body. A great airstrike by 228. Reckless down to 73%. Airlock at 89%. That was a hell of a shot.
Yeah, man. Power of the airstrike, huh? Look at that. That's just... That hurt. That would have hurt.
You know, and Osiriz right there with this column formation, it would need to really spread out here, especially with these airstrikes coming in from 228. But we've got 228 in a pretty wide formation over here, putting down that fire. Here comes the Osiriz lights from the right-hand side. I don't think 228's aware of them. They're going to come in and start putting out some fire real quick.
Yeah, no, I've been watching those lights, and they have not been spotted yet. They managed to stay in the crevice. Oh, no, and they're running away. They were in the crevice, and they had not seen them. 228 did not know they were there.
And they are falling back to their main body. We've got another light over here, T-Fun in his Wolfhound, putting some fire out. And that was a pretty good enveloping move by Osiriz against 228 here.
I think Osiriz didn't realise where 228 was either, actually. I think that was a little bit of, we're not sure where you are, and you're not sure where I am either. Otherwise, the lights could have come in the back's end, and large pulse to death could have, that could have been brutal. But they're on, the push is on. Nonetheless, they've grouped up. That's why they were going back. The lights have gone back from Osiriz, because they're charging. They've had enough. They realise that their range is not good enough.
Yeah, and the damage advantage is definitely in favor of 228 at this point. Osiriz coming in with a number of mechs sub 90 and then 1 mech sub 50 already. T-Fun in that Wolfhound. He goes down. Mikado's so getting the kill on him.
Yeah, he got legged quick, man. He got stormed by 3 lights, so...
228's in a pretty good position here. They've got 5 mechs on the right flank, 3 mechs on the left, and Osiriz kind of balled up in the middle. Airstrike coming out, shooting at Panic Button.
Oh no, that was an
Artie
strike.
Artie strike. Panic Button down to 38%, taking some hits from that Artie, but not enough to finish him off. Ghost getting Panic Button. It's a 2-1 game in favor of 228 at this point.
Oh, look, I think 228 have, look at those percentages, man.
Skinless getting a kill. It's 2-2.
Oh.
228's pretty fresh as Osiriz tries to close it in this. They've got 1 mech sub 80 at this point. That's Archon Adam Steiner in that Battlemaster 2C. And Adam Steiner bringing down Reckless. It's a 3-2 game in favor of 228 at this point. Osiris continuing to move in, rotating to the right. Wildfire coming in at the back end. The Lights trying to harass those mechs so that they can advance and get these kills.
Look at the 228 stand, man. They pulled their Lights right around the back of their assaults just then to save them so that they weren't going to get outflanked by that push coming around the side. That is very smart play.
Keeping the Lights off their backs, and Kippers and Skinless trying to get Skinless getting that kill out of Archon Steiner. It's a 3-3 game at this point. Kippers and the Viper on the right-hand side, Skinless and the Cheetah falling back to the main body. Kippers is now isolated, and I believe the rest of the team is below the ridge line there, so they can focus on him.
Yep, they're below. They're below. They can. Marauder 2C can't see much. Hunchback 2C can only see the night gear. He can't. He doesn't realise there's 4 more down below. Oh no, now he does.
Osiris with 3 mechs sub 50 or 51 and below, but still in this fight. This fight is not over. 228 slowly losing their damage advantage here.
Yeah, look, they're rotating out. I'm very impressed with this from Osiris, man.
Queenblade bringing down Wildfire. It's a 4-3 game in favor of 228 at this point. 5-3 game. Now 228 smells blood, moving in to finish these herd mechs off. Not going to take it anymore. Defunct come bringing down Goats. Mikado's Skull bringing down Airlock. And we have 1 mech left. Kippers in that Viper. He's left. And Queenblade gets the last kill. Here we are. 8-3 in favor of 228. Pretty good fight there,
2-2, man. 2-2, 2-2, 2-2. Last drop, yes.
I love it when it gets to this last drop. Let's talk about these damage numbers. What are we seeing here, Ash?
We see some horror shit from Defuncticon up there, man. 785 in the Nokia. That is, yeah, doing some work, man. Serious work. Osiris, not too bad, actually. Pretty good spread. Hunchback 2CA, Ghost, he's pretty good in that Hunchy, man. He did well last game. He did really well this game too. And Airlock as well, doing some reasonable work. Good damage numbers overall. Good spread. 1 or 2 of the mechs from either side got picked off a little bit early, and hence a little bit of low numbers. I mean, that happens, you know. Someone's got to die, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. But look, good spreads across the board. Pretty good.
Osiris unable to secure the bonus on that. We had 2 Night Gyres left on the field for 228, so they did not secure the bonus, but they were able to get 4 kills, however. So the game is still pretty close here with a 2-2 at this point.
Yeah, this comes down to the last drop. This is going to be good. This is going to be some action. Get your
here
friends. Tell them to log on. You're about to see a Div A game go down to the last drop, down to the wire. Man, let them know. Get them on here.
Yeah, we are at 92 viewers right now, guys. Get your friends, get online, get them in here. They've got probably about 3 to 5 minutes before this next drop kicks off. And this is it. This is the final drop of the night. 2-2, Osiris is ahead of Blackwatch by 175 reputation points, sitting at 900, whereas Blackwatch is at 725 reputation points. Ash, what happened on that drop, man? Walk us through what you saw there.
So we had the guys, Osiris, Cap, Sigma, Kappa early, sort of come up and then do a little bit of a movie round this way. Around the back of a Hotel 8. 228s, again, fairly standard sort of stuff for this map. Sort of came in and around. So yeah, while it wasn't really a massive flank engagement, 228 guys set up pretty well along here with their range. Got a lot of shots in, and like airstrikes, I'll put them in purple. Sort of a lot of airstrikes around here. Bang, bang, bang. Really hurting Osiris before they even got a chance to get close. With a lot of their range, large pulse and stuff like that. ER larges beating down on Osiris as well. After a little bit of a play out at Theta, I think Osiris capped Theta early from memory. Had their Lights come in, a bit too fat there with my little pointer, came in the back here of the 228s, and they didn't realise, while all the sort of fire was coming down at them, Osiris ended up running around the back, and then just in this big fat line, just bang, let's push, let's get that large pulse push, and yeah, 228 sort of rotated around the back here, Hotel 9. It was another really good arty strike here, actually, from Osiris. From 228s on Osiris, just as they sort of were sitting there in Hotel 8, Hotel 9. I think that was from one of the pop-tarting night gears. Yeah, that tore shreds up. That arty strike when 5 of them were balled up hurt. It was a good 15% across most of the mechs. So yeah, look, we saw another game of really good and solid airstrike usage. Arty strikes too, some good placements. And again, I think they made the difference in this game. It wasn't necessarily about the fight and the actual mechs and the shooting. It was definitely more about airstrikes and arties again.
Yeah, what a great match, man. Both teams really able to move around the map, get that range advantage, sort of rotate around, keep themselves at the optimal range for the weapons platforms that they were running. 228, you called it out during the match, did a great job of pulling their lights in and keeping the mediums and the pseudo lights, excuse me, and the lights from Osiriz from getting in their backs and harassing them. 228 learned their lesson in drop three. Drop three, T-Fun and that Viper did a great job of harassing 228, and so you had the Cheetah and the Jenner 2C from 228 watching the back there and doing a great job of that. So definitely, these are teams that learn as they're playing and continue to improve even throughout the course of an evening.
Yeah, no, they pulled their lights back as well. I forgot to mention that as well. The 228s pulled their lights back towards the middle end of that fight so that they didn't actually lose them and give any bonus away or extra rep points and stuff to Osiriz. So again, yeah, pretty smart play, that sort of stuff.
All right, Ash. Well, I'm going to bring up the map strat to talk about Tourmaline, and while you're talking about Tourmaline, I've got to go dump some of this cheap beer in the loo. So I'm going to be gone for 90 seconds while you talk about this.
Well, there can't be that much cheap beer in your system if it's only 90 seconds. Nonetheless, while Mr. Switch is draining the old lizard, now what we're going to have here, we could have probably a cap out Epsi, most likely, and we could have setups either around here or around here. It will also depend on where we're going to have our lovely friends from Osiriz. They will probably most back hit a Sigma. Do they hit a Kappa or not? Good question, maybe not. They've been brawling a reasonable amount tonight, so it could be a push up through here. Very risky to go this way and not advisable because 228 can easily, if they stack Alpha Lance, set some X up the top, do some Overwatch, and hit those Echo 4 guys that come out. I think that happened a little bit in World Champs. So one of you guys came out, mistakes were made. I think it was Chico. Came out the wrong way and got hurt. We've made the same mistake in our comp team too. One guy goes out the wrong side. Or you can go Alpha Lance, come around here for a brawling push and control Theta. You can actually win that if you are a bit more of a brawly team. Hold the Theta point. There's a couple of ridges here you can hold without taking too much damage fire. If the 228s do even set up down here, perhaps with a bit more range. Or we could see a super long range game with people up on the spires. Again, don't know. It could go both ways. I think based on what we've seen tonight, Osiriz are definitely going to do the bit more of aggressive sort of brawly sort of push, and 228 will sit back and do a little bit more range.
Yeah, and we've got a 20-ton advantage in favor of 228 going into this drop so far. Neither team's indicated ready, so we still could see some changes happening here. But right now it's 585 tons for 228 to 565 for Osiriz. You can actually max out at 620 on this drop. So both teams probably bringing those Battle Masters again on their sides.
Maybe there might be an Atlas chucked in there somewhere. Definitely maybe on the 228 side. Definitely might be on Osiris' side. Not with that tonnage, no way.
Well, we surpassed 100 viewers. We got up to 101 viewers on a Thursday night Div A cast, so that's pretty good. We're going to do one more giveaway, guys, at the end of Drop 5, so hang out. We'll do this drop. We'll do a giveaway. It'll be for 3 days of premium time, and then we're going to do a post-game interview with the captains. I've had commitment from 228 that they'll drop in and have this chat with us. From Osiriz, it's a maybe at this point, but we'll at least get some conversation going here and talk about how the teams are responding to the meta. Maybe get some feedback on the skill tree. So, if you're out there, you're trying to figure out the skill tree, hang out. Maybe we'll get some tidbits from these high-level competitive players in the game. We've got indication of ready from Team 2. Team 1 will likely be saying ready here in just a moment, and then we will be crash and burn mech warriors.
And tonnage didn't change then, no mechs changed, so yeah, it's a little bit of a tonnage disparity. It's going to be interesting to see why and where that tonnage is actually not being used up.
Yep, we are crash and burn mech warriors. Here we go. Season 9, Week 7, North American Division A, 228 Blackwatch versus Osiriz. It's a 2-2 drop game right now. However, Osiriz, with the devastating victory in Drop 2, is currently ahead in reputation points. 228's got to hold their ground here. Either whether win or lose, they've got to hold their ground here and make sure to get those rep points back to pull ahead of Osiriz at the end of this match. Call it, guys, right now. Drop it in chat. Who's bringing this home? Is 228 going to hold what they just did in the last drop of Polar Highlands and eke out another win? Or is Osiriz going to go back to what they did in Drop 2 and turn 228 into laser food?
Oh, laser for dinner.
Laser for dinner. We've got dropships hovering here as we wait for them to happen on Tourmaline. And here we go. We've got 228. One last sprite bringing in a Marauder 2C. Chrisman in the Nightjar. Brandon Moon in the Jenner 228. Adam Steiner in the Atlas. Panic Button in Kodiak 3. Queenblade in the Arctic Cheetah. Defunct Khan in the Nightjar. And Mikado Soul in the Battlemaster 2C.
Well, that's where the tonnage is. Look at that. Kodiak and Atlas. For the Osiriz side, we've got a Kodiak 3 still. EBJ, Firestarter 2. Marauder 2C. Arctic Cheetah, Nike Prime, and Mauler MX-90. Interesting to see how the MX-90 goes. They took quite a bit of a hit with Skill Tree, actually, and nerfs that you are not going to get back to.
Chrisman taking a solid hit on that first jump, down 89% already. Osiriz putting out some good fire. Ghost, however, at 77% on the 72% on the Osiriz side in that Mauler MX-90. Osiriz trying to cross over Theta. Looks like they're trying to get in and bring in that skirmish range and put the pain on 228 to relive what they did in Drop 2. 228.
The Mauler is legged. The Mauler's done. Osiris' Mauler is done. He's legged. He can't move. He's stuck.
And that slow mech being legged, he is not going to be able to get in this fight in all likelihood before it ends. And we've got the Cheetah and the Jenner holding down the line here in stage, keeping the Osiriz mechs balled up while the 228 mechs roll out to the left-hand side. And here comes the Atlas.
Oh, Fatlas is in. It's on, man. This is going to be a short game.
Queenblade and Chrisman back-to-back kills. 2-0 in favor of 228. 228 now pushing forward. Gonna try to finish this match out early as hell. Osiriz trying to pull back. Great airstrike against Chrisman there. He's down to 69%. But here comes the Atlas. Adam Steiner pushing forward on Reckless and our airlock and Kippers. Skinless getting one last bite. It's a 2-1 game in favor of 228 still. Brandon Moon bringing down airlock.
Archon man hasn't stopped. Has not stopped. That is... Oh no, he's stopped the turnaround.
Well, he's got to turn around now. There's no one in front of him. It's a 5-1 game in favor of 228, and 228 just cleaning it up.
Wowee. Yeah, he had no option but to keep charging then. It just slaughtered him. Wow.
That Mauler's down to 16%, 15%, and here comes Chrisman to put him out of his misery, but Defunct Khan steals the kill from the left-hand side. Queenblade bringing down T-Phone. We've got Skinless as the only mech left, the Arctic Cheetah. He's still pretty fresh. He's trying to get a kill, it looks like. Focusing on Mikado Soul at 76%, but he's got a Cheetah backing him up there, Queenblade helping him out. And here comes Brandon Moon in the Jenner 2C. I don't think he's going to get that kill before they're able to ice him out.
He must be nearly open. He's twisting like crazy here, Mikado. Twisting like crazy. No, leg down on Cheetah. Oh dear.
And here we go.
Wow, wee man.
8-1 game in favor of 228. MVP, Archon Adam Steiner in the Atlas, rounding the corner from Delta 5, pushing straight up into this mass of bodies lying here, gets to the end of the line, turns back around, comes back up the middle, and we've got the last two mechs from Osiriz in the channel here. What a great game by 228.
Oh, shit a brick, man. That was... that was fast. For this type of drop on this map with this tonnage, that was over really bloody quick. That was great. That was intense. That was full on. You know what? Flat out did not expect it. Good to see an Atlas though. I wanted to see one of them. They're boss.
that was amazing. And Mikado putting on a laser light show for us here. Thanks for that, Mikado. Everyone, break out your glow sticks. Start doing some dancing.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. He deserves a medal for that. Like, I bet if we post interview, he goes, "Did you realise how many mechs still left in front of you?" You'd be like, "No."
Yeah,
I just kept going.
As he kept pushing up this hill here, he gets to the Nightjar and the Evanjag, and then what I imagine is it's like Forrest Gump, where everyone in the crowd is holding up the sign, "Slow down, turn around, turn around."
yeah.
All right, Ash, talk to us about these damage numbers. What do we see here?
Oh, we see Defuncticon doing some major work in that Nike there. And look at the Atlas, man. Look at that, 538 damage. Unfortunately, no kill to tag his name with there. Queenblade mopping up the slops there from Archon's damage, I reckon. And actually, you know what? Osiriz had a pretty good damage spread. No single player really was above anyone else, but look at that, 300, 360, 345, 300. So they did pretty good work. I just think Ghost getting legged early in that Mauler, that kind of hurt their overall match there, and that was some very, very good focus fire from 228 to get that on so early, that leg. Wow.
So here we are at the end of the match. We've got Osiriz with... Oh, I got the wrong winner there. My apologies. 228 with the win, but Osiris still with 925 rep to 228's 1075. So Osiris putting up some good numbers throughout the night and able to keep themselves within a couple of few kills, half a drop within 228. Ash, walk us through what happened on that match.
Well, this is going to be a quick summary, man, because it was a fast and furious match. Had the 228 set up here with their range fairly quickly, and we had Osiriz come in around through here. This is where the Mauler got his leg chopped around there, and he didn't make it any further than Echo 5 there after that game. The Osiriz guys moved up to this wall here, and that is when the Atlas came. And then I'm going to make this nice and big so everyone sees what happened to the Atlas. The Atlas did this. That's what the Atlas did. Nothing else. He just went straight, twisted, left, right, shoot, left, right, shoot, kill, death, destruction. And then kind of realized, here we go in orange, that, oh shit, there's no one left. I need to turn around and go backwards and kill something else somewhere else on the map. So that was it. That was pretty much the fight. It was just an all-in brawl. Had Queen Blade and a couple of other lights and stuff doing a little bit of work, sort of around the fringes from Osiriz around this side, and sort of 228 around this side as well. A little bit of fringe work as you do in a light in this type of match, and yeah, that was it. That was all she wrote, man. Done. Good game.
Yeah,
Good,
what a
aggressive
fantastic game. Again, I want to call out Archon Adam Steiner for that amazing push in the Atlas. Legging whoever also legged that Mauler, really slowing down and stalling the push from Osiriz in the beginning and shifted the balance back towards 228, I think. Osiriz bringing in those brawly type mechs. I had Osiriz pegged when the drop happened, and then 228 getting those lines set up and then counter pushing and bringing it back home for themselves.
Yeah, that was good. That was a really good push. You know what? Wouldn't have expected that from 228 at all to play that style. It was good. Enjoyed it. Great game. Action.
Well, we surpassed 103 viewers here tonight. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our last giveaway of the night where we try to get these team captains in here for a post-game interview. So as we move into the giveaway, I've already removed all the users that need to be removed, and we're going to roll this up. 3 days premium time. If you win this, be sure to send El Switchblade a message in Twitch. If I don't get a message from you, I got no code to give away. So please reach out to me. I've already heard from Kincaid, so Kippers, if you're out there, man, shoot me a message. That way I make sure I get you the code for that 500 MC that you won. And Brandon Hines with the win, 3 premium days. Brandon Hines, send a message in Twitch to El Switchblade, and I will be glad to hand you over to that code.
Wow, just watching that replay, man. Oof, wowee, crazy.
Yeah, it was great, man. Watching it on the other screen too. We're waiting on these team captains to get in here and have a chat with us. It might take them a minute or two to do this. So let's go ahead and take a look at the post game here. So we got a post game stat, and what this post game view does is it shows us each team with their current reputation points going into the night, and then their total reputation points at the conclusion of the match. So with the 8,025 that Osiriz started with, plus the 925 they earned tonight, that moves them up into first place with 8,950. It should be noted, however, that they have now played 7 matches, whereas Dropship 5 has only played 5 matches. And each match, you have a total, a maximum total you can get to of 1,750. So while Osiriz is in first place right now, Dropship 5 has many opportunities to move themselves back into first place. Meanwhile, 228, who won the night tonight with 3 wins and 1,075 reputation points, their existing 6,350 reputation points takes them to 7,425 reputation points, keeping them in third place. But again, they've only played 5 drops, or 5 matches so far this season. SGR's only played 4, who's behind them, so SGR still has many opportunities to move themselves into third, second, and maybe even first place. The season is far from over in Division A. We're only in week 7. We've got 10 weeks of play, and there are a number of teams in Division A that have not played all their matches yet.
Yeah, that's the thing you got to remember when looking at leaderboards. How many matches is who and what played, and all the rescheduling going on, the skill tree and everything. It's definitely a little bit all over the place, out of schedule than more so than normal.
Yeah, and we are sitting here waiting for the team captains to join us. I'm not seeing them jump on TS just yet. I don't know if we're going to get them in here, but we'll hang tight for another minute or two and see. We're now at 114 viewers, so I do believe that the team captains, the teams themselves, have joined us on Twitch to finish this the rest of the night out. Got folks still hanging on. Give me just 1 second here.
Go on the hunt. Go hunt them down, man. Go on. Just do it. Sniffer dog style. But they were good games tonight. Well played by everybody, I think. Like, yeah, definitely cannot complain at any of the matches. Good fights, good entertainment. I'm pumped after that last one, man. I'm gonna get to work and shit. Actually, these guys talk about ribs in the chat channel and all the rest of it. I actually got to go to work and do some tasting, which will include ribs. So, yeah, all you guys that are hungry out there, I'm gonna satisfy my hunger very shortly.
Awesome. So we just got the go-ahead from Bandit. We're going to do one more giveaway here, guys. We're going to do another 500 MC, another 500 MC giveaway. We've reached 113 viewers in channel. Likely some of the players in the match tonight have joined the channel. So let's do one more giveaway and give those guys a chance to win something here. Give me just a second while I bring up the tool, clear out the users that were in it, re-add them. Remove myself, Bandit B17. Ash.
Got one upstairs. Let's grab Ghost down here. We'll get the other guys when he pops in.
Awesome. Ghost, give us just a second. We're just doing one giveaway real quick here, man.
Sure.
Are you in channel right now? Are you in the Twitch channel?
No.
Do you want to get on? I'll wait for you to get in the channel if you want to get on this giveaway.
No, I'm good. Thanks, though.
All right, man. No worries, dude. All right, so removing Ash and removing Moobot, and then we will do this giveaway. All right, here we go, guys. 500 MC. Remember, if you win, to shoot L Switchblade a message in Twitch so I know to give you the code. And we are rolling. And Ghost, if you could do me a favor, Kippers won while you guys were dropping tonight. He was in the channel, so let him know to shoot me a whisper, and I got a prize for him.
All right, let's see if I can find him.
All right, we got
Panic and Ghost both
Beautiful.
in here. Ghost, is it Ghost? Is that how we say your name?
Yeah, it's Ghost.
Okay, Ghost. Got it. So here we are rolling for this 500 MC, and then we're going to move into the post-game interview with the teams here. And it looks like Torok winning 500 MC. Torok, please send L Switchblade a message in Twitch so that I can give you the code for this 500 MC. Thank you very much. So, gentlemen, what a match tonight. Thank you so much for allowing us to shoutcast this. That was amazing. Let's talk about maybe Panic. Let's start with you guys since you were able to win the evening tonight with 3 wins and 1,075 reputation points. How did you guys go into this with the skill tree happening and people needing to rebuild mechs and skill things up? Like, what did you guys do to get ready for this match tonight?
We played a match last week, so that helped. But no, we've been sort of going about it. A lot of our guys have been dropping in queue and doing some in-house scrimmages. I don't think, other than the match, I don't think we've managed to land a Div A or Div B scrim aside from 206. Our Div C team, played us a couple times. We've also had help from our Div B team, the Swamp Foxes. So we've been doing a lot of in-house stuff to try to science the skill tree. It's been an interesting ride. So I expected tonight to chalk up a lot to. Well, I sort of expected it might chalk up a bit to Mech Lab, but it chalked up to me. It chalked up entirely to we had some difficulties with scouting. We had the guys from Osiriz had absolute flawless positioning on 2 of the matches and really managed to get us caught in bad situations. That's kudos to them for I guess planning that. We weren't quite able to capitalize on those drops. We thought we had a pretty good idea of what we were doing going into this, but it seemed like again there was some Mech Lab discrepancy on the two matches we lost, and there was definitely some Mech Lab and strategy choices that happened on the 3 we took away from this. It's just it did shake. I think it shook things up quite a bit. You've got mechs that are nigh unkillable. Not unkillable, but you have to put a significant amount of focus fire into an Atlas or like a Highlander or Battlemaster 2C now to take it down. So there's certain mechs like that can be used situationally that weren't. The Battlemaster was viable before, but the other two are kind of like new to play in these tournaments. So it did change things significantly, but not like I don't think it was a horribly big deal. Everyone sort of had fun playing around with it.
And Ghost, what about you guys with Skill Tree? I don't know that you've played a match since the Skill Tree dropped. Did you guys go into this with a lot of mech science done, or was it sort of first blush for you?
Absolutely not. Actually, I played my first time with the new Skill Tree stuff just the other night, and we had like 3 players that hadn't even like installed the patch as of like yesterday. So as far as preparation is concerned, we had none. Unfortunately, I wish we could have put a little bit better of a foot forward, but we just had a really busy week this last week and into this week. But from what we did have, we tried to make the best out of it and tried to set things up from what we understood so far about the new skill tree and how it's affecting the different mechs and stuff like that. I agree with Panic as far as certain mechs seem to be a lot more durable now, and it's kind of shaking things up a lot with different strats where something before might not have been that acceptable in the comp scene, but now is viable just due to the amount of damage it can take on top of what DPS it can put out. So it's going to be a learning curve, I think, for us in general, just because of the amount of time we have to devote to this game these days, and we're trying to watch the community to see what they put out, but also just coming out with whatever creative ideas we can put forward and hopefully implement them effectively. So yeah.
Well, let's talk through the drops then, if you guys don't mind. So drop 1, Canyon Network, Osiriz coming up on that Epsilon side, pushing across the lesser of the murder ramps, if you will, above the ravine there, and then 228, sort of counter pushing back through, and you guys sort of changing positions there. A lot of the lower division teams, and we talked about this while the cast was happening, that brawl would have been the end of the game, but 228 taking that position on the other side, and Osiriz, you guys setting up around Theta and trying to be cagey, maybe get one more kill for the bonus. Was that planned, or did it just kind of unfold? You Panic, when you made the call to move across and hold, was it get the ground, maintain our range, and do it? And then, I want to ask Ghost a similar question.
Yeah, the plan going into these drops, we generally have like a first movement planned and then a first reaction planned, because if you try to go any farther past that, it generally doesn't work very well. You just kind of end up in a mess and it gets too complicated. So we had set up mechs to counter a left side rush, actually, or a just theta rush, which is the first movement we did. Then afterwards, I guess one of the initial we had everyone that was on the left-hand side, on right-hand side on Epsilon corner on that ridge. We're looking towards the corner to see if we were going up against like a mid-range deck that had hunchbacks and ranged stuff. Because I believe that prior to the skill tree, Osiriz has been running at least one hunchback 2C and drop 1. So it's kind of like we were looking to see if that was the case, and we needed to just play that at range, or whether or not we had an advantage at range. And when we ascertained that they were primarily brawl, the plan was immediately to switch our 2 mid-range mechs over to Theta, and then we were pretty much just looking for a doorstop, if you will, with our CQC team. So we had everyone that had the close quarters weaponry was poised to just dive onto their team and prevent them from closing in with our ranged mechs. I mean, it worked as well as it could have possibly worked in drop 1. They didn't kill either of our 2 LPL. Like, I had an LPL medium laser adder, and we had Chrisman and a trebuchet with large lasers. It was, I think there were some mistakes were made. I think that one of those guys, either Chris or I, should have gone down. Just the way that they were playing tonight was a phenomenal play out of Osiriz. It was just evident in those 2 drops where they just absolutely murdered us. So I expected fully that was going to be a lot closer. I was quite pleased we didn't manage to overcommit. But yeah, the plan was definitely to basically just shut the door in their face when they tried to close in with our medium range guys, and then if given the opportunity, disengage back out to standoff range and polish it off, which is actually what we managed to do, which is kind of rare for us. I think if you look historically, we've had a significant amount of trouble with drop 1.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, we'll bring that up right now when looking at your stats in drop 1. that is one of the matches. You're only 74% win-loss ratio on drop 1. You're 100% through 2, 3, and 4, but drop 1 is your second to worst statistic across the drops. So Ghost, for you guys, man, as you know that cross and then holding the center there, were you guys trying to get that 5th kill, or were you just trying to stay alive and hold out the circle? What was your thought process there?
Well, we had a little bit of a communication mismatch, but yeah, we were trying to snag one more kill at least. Really just trying to manipulate 228, trying to get them to kind of push to a certain spot where we can catch one off guard or kind of snag an opportunity that pops up. Unfortunately, we had a little bit, like I said, a communication issue, and we ended up getting kind of tied up, losing, I believe it was T-Fun at the time, prematurely. And,
you nearly got it too, man. Like, you nearly pulled it off. I was watching you, just about nearly got one of the 228 guys out of spot.
Yeah, we were trying to play it to force that type of an issue to get that, but in the end, it ended up, like I said, we kind of messed up, and you guys, the 228 guys, definitely capitalized on it and snuffed them out. So at that point, it was just a matter of delaying the inevitable and just trying to pull off one more kill, which we couldn't. I don't think we could quite do.
So you've got the mic now, Ghost. Let's go ahead and move into drop 2, Mining Collective. That fantastic push you guys did over on the Charlie 5 side into 228. When you did that initial push, you guys kind of moved forward and then split across, some towards the Theta side ramp and some towards the tunnel to the right. Were you reconsolidating? Were you trying to get information? What was that stall for there? Because it seemed like you had them on their heels and pushing, and you gave them a range. Ultimately, you came out 8-0 on that drop. But what was that strategy about there?
It was basically reconsolidating, making sure that our ranged mechs still continued to maintain oversight over us. We're still, I guess, working out some kinks as far as communication is concerned in some of those situations, and I think that's really the stall that you saw was things kind of catching up to where we needed to be. We knew what we wanted to do. It was a matter of just getting people in position to be able to obtain that. So, I mean, it worked out pretty well, but from our side, it felt really messy, actually.
Yeah, and we saw a similar play from you guys on River City, pushing 228 off the high ground there, and T-Fun getting into their bags and keeping them busy. I want to move forward now and talk about Polar Highlands, that advance across 228. You guys, you had your line set up with your heavies and assaults there, and then you had your lights sort of, it felt like they were there to protect your backs. Was that in response to what you saw from Osiriz in drop 3 with T-Fun in your backfield, or had you gone into Polar Highlands with the role for the lights to be watch the heavies' backs?
Neither, actually. He just got way out of position. He moved way too far ahead of his line. I think the rest of them were doing a phenomenal job of keeping together and pushing me down. And the Highlander, because I was too slow to rotate, so I was actually out of position and trying to convince Archon Adam Steiner, who was having none of it, to come back and cover me. But I mean, the rotation was real. They were really coming around on us aggressively. They had good lines and they were taking good shots, and so it was really imperative that we capitalize on something. And they had one small mistake. They had T-Fun too far out ahead of the rest of their team, or I guess he didn't know where our lights were. I mean, there was some. I'm sure there were some scouting issues or something there, but yeah, no, we that was a whim. I think I don't want to give too much credit to anyone here, but the Queen's head's already big enough. But I believe he spotted it, and he and one last and Brandon agreed to go in and ice T-Fun real quick because he was just in a position where they could do that effectively. And then we just I think our Nightjares made up the gap in my damage while they rolled on me. So that was nice. I mean, it just played into our favor. Polar Highlands, just for the record, is one of those maps where I just don't think there's it's a lot more to do with keeping your team together and keeping the advantage rolling and the hills rolling in your favor. Because if you don't, if you get a little bit behind, you can end up miles and miles away from the next piece of cover just because of the gentle rolling hills, which are really frustrating when you're piloting a 90-ton assault mech that doesn't move very fast.
Shit. Suck to pilot on that map.
Yeah.
So let's Ghost, just real quick in response to that and talking about drop 4. You guys had some pretty good airstrikes going out. Have you guys seen? I know you said you haven't spent a lot of time with the skill tree, but in your practices since getting ready for this match, have you seen an increase in the value of strikes, or is it just about the same for you guys?
Value, yes. Dislike, I think is pretty much balanced going up with that because I absolutely hate strikes to begin with. But I mean, there was no denying the extra potency of having all these extra backup strikes flying at you as the matches are going on. I know I personally took some huge suffrage from that on map 1. I was fresh and then I wasn't. I was like 69% after 2 strikes, so it's very frustrating going up against strikes because you can't really do much about it. And I'd say it's very potent with this new skill tree. I'm not sure if it outweighs some of the other aspects about it, but I guess it's really just map dependent and you having to change to meet that requirement on that map.
Fantastic. And then I want to close this out by talking about Tourmaline Desert. My MVP of the night, Archon Adam Steiner in that Atlas. As you guys were crossing the open ground there, the Osiriz team crossing the open ground there, your Mauler MX-90 getting led, kind of slowing down the push and taking out a number of weapons from your team pushing across. Panic, when that leg happened and you saw them pushing across, what was the trigger point? What was the, okay, counter push now? Like, what was the decision factor there?
Oh, that was actually, I mean, that was all planned, to be honest. Like, that was just textbook. I'm sorry, the Osiriz guys couldn't have helped us anymore in that strategy by packing up next to the wall there in an attempt to shield themselves from the I'm assuming that they were trying to get cover from the guys in Delta 5, but that was we made that in the with the intention of countering or trying to deal with a really heavy, like, DACA laden or SRM, push from Alpha straight down. We weren't exactly sure with the amount of really, like Ghost was saying earlier, just extremely survivable assault mechs that are available to you right now, like with the Atlas and the Highlander 32 Bravo and the Highlander 33C. Really, like, you're talking 200 some odd, almost 200 points of center torso external armor, which is just disgusting. So we were expecting, we were hoping for something that like what happened, but expecting the worst, or what we feared was going to be the worst for trying to put nightjars and things on that corner, as is the standard build. We felt like we were being a little bit predictable. So the idea was to put the Atlas in there and run the other 2 assault mechs down from Charlie Lance, so that we would have this, again, that sort of shut the door on somebody that was trying to close in with CQC team. We saw a lot of gargoyles previously to this, and a lot of weird, there are some CQC Victor builds that are now popular, or at least I've seen them. So there was a lot of worry for that. So whenever they walked into the middle, it was just like, oh, they're where we need them to be. Go ahead and charge, like, deploy the Atlas.
Deploy the Atlas.
Yeah, and he walked around the corner, and I mean, it was a really beautiful sight from my cockpit in the back there, because I was stepping out in front of a DACA Kodiak, and to be fair, these Gauss Kodiaks actually, like, I mean, they're pretty bad right now. If you try to run one in the queue, I mean, just like, word of the wise, if you try to run one in the queue, like, you're gonna have good games. It's still a good mech. Don't get me wrong. Like, it'll do damage, but like, I was experiencing 1 out of every 10 or 1 out of every 6 games. You're just getting annihilated. You're not able to put on, radar deprivation costs a lot of, not radar deprivation, seismic sensor costs a lot of points into the sensor tree. Might be worth it. Consider that. But like, it's become frustrating to try to run one of those just because everything else has piles and piles of armor, and you don't, and your side torsos explode. So I was worried about that significantly, especially when I saw what they were running. We also considered running the turret Mauler with 6 AC5s and just planting it on that corner, but at the end of the day, we settled on this because it sort of provided options for us to play, especially considering, I don't know, the match we played against SGR in the Star League, I believe it was Star League final, when they just absolutely turned us upside down with the ER large deck. That was another thing we were extremely worried about. So we wanted to have options. We wanted to be able to move and react.
Well, Ash, you got any questions for either of these guys before we close this out tonight?
Pretty good. I just Yeah, big shout out to Osiriz for that River City push. That impressed me. I love brawling and laser brawling and all that sort of stuff. And just that positioning was really good, getting up into the hills. I kind of actually quick question actually for Panic. That rotation. Why did you choose to go down to the water to the right in the rotation, sort of rather than maybe sort of roll back into the high ground in Echo 7?
Bring up the. Let me
you
bring
guys
up
sort of
the
rotated
map.
around, sort of what was it, clockwise into the water?
Oh, into Echo 7. Oh, well, we
yeah.
spawned our CQC team down in Charlie Lands. I mean, we only had 3 CQC mags. The rotation down at Foxtrot 6 is actually just trading one really strong position for another. I think the gardens are fairly brutal if you can get into them and get situated and set up. Adam would not let us forget that he took an extremely good strike from one of the Osiriz guys early that opened up his back armor, and when he's internal, that Viper just coming up out of Golf 7 was enough to immediately kill him without having him do anything, which was the beginning of the end. But realistically, the push across Echo 7 gave them high ground and good positioning. However, I believe we would have been on even positioning in Foxtrot 6. Not to, their positioning was expert, and they saw that what we had done was overcommit our 3 CQC max into Echo 6 to get on the Nightjars that were struggling to cross just because of their speed. I guess they only run like 64, so you've got to be careful with the positioning on those. But Osiriz had that covered. Whenever we pushed the brawlers onto them, they overcommitted, and the rest of Osiriz was able to turn around and just promptly annihilate the 3 guys that had gone in around the corner into Echo 6 low.
Yeah.
And then
that's what happened.
Yeah, I'm fully aware. Like none of the guys in the ranged guys that were down in Foxtrot 6 weren't made to stay in the water. We were supposed to get up into actually into the gardens. It's just one of those things where the plan went slightly awry, but realistically, like that Echo 6 push into Echo 7 up on the top, it was something we had anticipated but hadn't been able to practice against. Primarily, most of the guys we had played on this map were running the push up through Foxtrot 5 underneath the bridge in the garden straight to Echo 6, but Osiriz took a different route up into Echo 5, Echo 6, which proved to be slightly more dangerous to the overcommitting problem that we were having tonight. So it's kind of like, okay, that was it was just really well played on their part. They had the right positioning and the right blend of mechs in order to turn around and immediately put down the slightly dangerous CQC team we brought. Just as another like tidbit of wisdom, maybe for anyone else that's looking at these decks and the skill trees. Previously, I think the Onion and some of the other mechs like that were good enough to get in maybe on their own or in that pack of 3 and do some damage. But I would just as a note from that drop, after seeing that kind of crash and burn spectacularly at the hands of Osiriz, I'm going to reevaluate the effectiveness of taking like less than X number of CQC mechs, unless it happens to be one of those assaults that just like. Again, like you're like 200 points of CT armor. That's like smashing 2 old assault mechs together.
Yeah. Well, guys, I want to thank you guys very much for the shoutcast tonight and the amazing match. 3-2 matches. We start out with 228 with a really solid win in drop 1. Osiriz coming back with excruciatingly painful to 228 the victories that they had in drops 2 and 3. Sorry, I just got to call it like that. And then 228 returning the favor back in drops 4 and 5. So what a great back and forth night tonight. Ghost, I want to close this out with you having the first opportunity here. Anything you want to say to the fans of Mech Warrior, your pilots, or the other team here?
I want to say that 228 played pretty good tonight. We noticed that Ed wasn't here. I know we had some players that were out as well. But it was good matches. You guys are always good fun to play against. I always appreciate the sportsmanship dropping against you guys, and just people like that out in the comp scene. The time that they put into it, the devotion not only to their team and the game, but to the community as well. I think you guys are great. So everyone else just think of that as something to go after, and these guys lead by example just as much as some of the other best teams out there. So I want to thank you guys for that, and thanks for the stream.
Yeah,
and good job to Oz. Nice try.
Yeah, it was a good game tonight. Panic Button, give you as the victors tonight. Give you last call here, man. Anything you want to share with the community or back to your opponents?
Osiriz played phenomenally tonight. They had the 2 drops were just dominating. I mean, I was having to give the pep talk about midway through this. All I kept saying was, okay, if we win the next drop, then we're gonna have, we need to swing this momentum back in our favor, because right now it's just heavily, it's all Osiriz all the time. Winning the first drop you can write off as a crapshoot, but losing the next 2 is kind of brutal in terms of the mental state it puts everyone in playing. So it was a slog to get out of that and really turn the tables tonight. On one hand, I'm really glad we did it. It gave everyone a good show, I hope, and
Absolutely.
it felt pretty good to do that. But at the same time, it must be recognized that if the Osiriz is one of the premier teams in this game right now, and to actually be able to go up, and it always amazes me to be able to go up against some of these guys that I see in the queue consistently performing well, and I see performing well against other teams and actually come out on top. Sort of the same, a little bit of the same butterflies you get from the first time we actually managed to take down a Div A team like a year and a half ago or something like that. It was, it's just a brilliant feeling. So I'm really happy for all of my guys tonight that we were able to turn it around, pull it out, and make it happen. No hard feelings to anyone that got yelled at in the middle of that match. I'm sure there was a little bit of that going on. Actually, not from me. I've hung up my yelling hat. Chrisman has taken over that job full time, so we always try to have a good time, but at the same time, it was really a slog tonight. That their level of play required us to elevate ours enormously in order to actually turn that around on Frozen City, or not Frozen City, the Polar Highlands, one we don't like playing.
Well, fantastic, gentlemen. Again, thank you very much for the match tonight. It was great to watch. You guys put on a fantastic show. I appreciate you both coming in with some really, really good interview answers, very insightful. And I hope the guys that are watching this, recognize this. And a lot of other games out there, and I'm just going to call it like I see it. Sorry, you got these guys with these brash attitudes, the egomaniacal, sense of self-entitlement. We don't have that in MechWarrior. It doesn't feel like in the teams that I've talked to, in the teams that have scrimmed with us, the teams we've played against and had communications with. This is a really solid community, and you guys coming out and having these types of conversations with us, and open and transparent, and not keeping your videos hidden or secretive or anything like that. It's just really great to hear, and I'm very appreciative for being part of this community and for you guys doing that. So we're going to go ahead and get ready to close this stream out. Again, huge shout out to 228 Black Watch and Osiriz, Panic Button from 228, and Ghost from Osiriz for coming in and chatting with us. Appreciate you guys. Crash and burn, Mech Warriors. All right, Ash. So closing thoughts, man. What do you think? How did the night go, man?
Man, that was good. A lot of Div A matches over the time that I sort of watched tend to sort of hedge around a little bit more longer range, and sometimes not much happens for 3 or 4 minutes in a match. But tonight, man, games were action packed. There was plenty going on, changing up a little bit of tactics, unexpected movements, and really good rotations. I think Skill Tree's definitely changed it up again, touching on the consumables and the spam that is now occurring. Not necessarily a fan of it as such, but that is where the meta's going to be, and they definitely played a massive part in tonight's matches. Huge factor. Was good arties and airstrikes. So there you go, guys. Watching, make sure you're practicing all that stuff, even down to Div E. You land a good airstrike. Even as Ghost said, you lost 25% or something, and that hurts. That sort of stuff. But look, great matches. Good viewers tonight. Yeah. Oh, man, I'm going to work now, and after a good cast, that's it. Done. Beautiful. Happy days.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I want to thank again everyone for coming out and watching. We crossed over 114 viewers tonight, so that's really good. At the end of the night, we've got Blackwatch taking home the victory with 1,075 reputation points over 925 for Osiriz. We've got some upcoming casts. We've got Grodcore versus the Forlorn Hope on the 28th of May at 9 p.m. Eastern. We had a match that was scheduled for Friday of this week, but it's Memorial Day weekend, and so 54th Mech and Kong have moved their match to the 4th of June at 2200 Eastern. I don't know if RJ is going to be able to cast that yet. He hasn't reconfirmed the cast, but we will have some more casts coming up. I hear tell that there might be an AP cast. The last match of the AP season might be cashed by Ash and Jay-Z. I haven't heard full confirmation of that yet, but I do hear there's rumor of it.
Yeah, there's a bit of rumor in the rumbling depths of the Discord channels. So yeah, there might be a cast Sunday night. I don't know what time that is for you US guys, but it's about 9 p.m. Eastern Standard for anyone on the Aussie side of the fence.
All right, guys. Well, I am El Switchblade.
And I am Just Call Me Ash. Well, maybe
And
Peter, but yeah, Ash is good.
and we are out. Crash and burn, mech warriors.
Error.
Okay, man.